Today is the Donald's birthday. It is the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, greatest civilization known to man. Today is the day that some sort of peace deal is supposed to be getting signed, although wrenches are getting thrown into that plan. And I think the Donald has the ultimate wrench to throw when the time is right. Elon Musk is now the first trillionaire, and leptoids are seething everywhere. They are having terrible days. They hate seeing people being successful because it reminds them of their own ineptitude. Savages and youths took over New York City, lighting everything on fire. The United Kingdom had another brutal attack, and the people are so radicalized it's insane. Migrants are actually fleeing the UK because they are so scared. W. And in the shock twist of the century, it seems like women cannot take accountability. I know, this surprised me more than you probably. Lock in, boys and girls, and subscribe. Insane day. The Democrats have posted this to completely make Trump look awful. As you can see, it's a based picture of Trump with the quote, bombed the shit out of him. Wow, this really makes Trump look terrible. Insane amounts of aura emanating from this one. I'm telling you, man. I don't know what vagina the Democrats uphold themselves into, but ultimately bombing the shit out of your opponents is actually based and awesome. I'm really tired of making believe it's not actually. I absolutely hate this modern era hands-tied way of governance. Every one of these brutal Islamists committing their massacres and untold genocides across all of Africa and the Middle East and stuff like that, you know, they're crying, making believe they're peace-loving flower children all over social media, and the left is falling for it. Yes, actually winning wars is awesome. All right, I'm not vouching for them to start, but once they start, I want to win as swiftly as possible, as overwhelmingly as possible, and without actually making it a fair fight at all. I know the left doesn't believe in these things, but that's because they're stupid, immoral retards. Anyway, the Donald posted this one. The terms that Iran leaked out to the fake news have nothing to do with the terms that were agreed to in writing. What they said, including their weak and pathetic statement on having a deal, bears no relation to the truth. Very dishonorable people to deal with. With them, there is no such thing as dealing in good faith. Amazing! Also, they rape goats. Their total rebuffed drone attack last night against Indian ships leaving the Hormuz Strait is totally unacceptable. They better get their act together and fast, President Donald J. Trump. You read a tweet like this, and it's like, Donald Trump knows that the Islamic regime that's running Iran are dishonest, goat-molesting, pedophile retards. They're violent as shit, they always have been, and they will be until they are overthrown. So when you see stuff like this, it's like, why are we making a deal with them? Now, I think the Donald actually has a plan. The Donald doesn't just want to shake hands with an evil regime and move on. But hey, I guess we'll see. He made this tweet too. Barack Hussein Obama's deal with Iran, the JCPOA was an easy, beautiful, smooth road to a nuclear weapon, which Iran could have had 6 years ago if it were, and it would have used long before now. My agreement with Iran is the exact opposite: a wall to no nuclear weapon. In fact, they no longer want a nuclear weapon. Okay, sure. Nor will they have one, either through purchase, development, or any forms of procurement. The deal is scheduled to be signed tomorrow. That's today. And immediately after it is signed, the Hormuz Strait is open to all. See, I think that's the major reason why he wants to get this first stage of the deal done, just so that the rest of the world can stop bitching and crying. But don't worry, we'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm not panicking. I have faith. Our relationship with Iran is much different and better one than the previous administrations have had. Yeah, wiping out their entire leadership 3 times over will do that, I guess. All of a sudden, they love me there. All of a sudden, they do everything I say. Wow, who could have seen this coming? Unlike Obama's hundreds of billions of dollars in payments to them, including $1.7 billion in green cold cash, no money will exchange hands. As a Jew, I like this. At the appropriate time, when all is calm, we will go in and get the nuclear dust. You see, I think that's definitely part of it, too. I said this the whole time. There's no way Trump makes a deal without getting that nuclear dust out. Very deep under the powerful, sunken granite mountains, thanks to our beautiful B-2 bombers and their brilliant pilots, and downblend and destroy it, whether in Iran or in the United States. We look forward to working with Iran and the entire Middle East long into the future. Hopefully, this process can all work quickly, easily, and smoothly. And if it doesn't, we have the ultimate alternative, which hopefully will never be used again. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So when you read something like this, we're making some sort of nuke agreement with Iran that will prevent them from having a nuke. It will help us get the dust. Their threat to us, ultimately, will disappear. And ultimately, I am America first. I would like to see this entire Islamic regime destroyed, because I actually just don't trust them. I don't believe them that they would honor any word or agreement, unless they actually see certain fail-safe methods put into place. That's one. And two, I feel terrible for the Iranian people if this shit happens. Right, these guys have been massacred in their street, 40,000 of them, and Donald Trump is just going to be like, all right, so we'll keep the Islamic regime active. We'll just make sure they can't get a nuke. For Donald Trump, the guy that told the Iranian people, rise up to the streets, stuff like that, you take note of the names of the people that kill you. We will take revenge, stuff like that. I see that, and I'm like, what did he mean by that exactly? When Donald talks about this Iran deal, he almost does it from the perspective of God saved my life multiple times when people shot bullets at me. I am going to save our country from this Iranian threat. Like he talks about that, and it's like, it really just seems like you're kind of letting them off here. And the thing is, which is very interesting, Donald Trump knows this. So mark my words when I tell you, this peace deal is probably just another phase in the gigantic Donald Trump war book plan to eventually destroy these motherfuckers. We'll see what happens, ultimately. I could be completely wrong here and misreading it, but I actually think that the Donald knows exactly what we are dealing with over there. And I'm curious to see how this plays out. I'm not a panicking, and I never have been, and I never will be. If you wanted to make the argument to never have started the war, that's definitely one perspective. But once we started, I want to win absolutely. I do want to bomb the shit out of them once we started, so that we win. I want them waving their little white flags and shit. And if they have too much ego to do that, then we keep bombing them. That's my stance in general when it comes to warfare. Now, JD has locked in, and he has said some very questionable things. I'm seeing a lot of fake information about a potential deal to reopen the strait and end Iran's nuclear program. First, the Iranians are not receiving any cash. No funds are being released simply by signing a deal or attending a meeting. The deal is structured to ensure that the U.S. and its allies' concerns are prioritized, and that if the Islamic Republic of Iran meets its obligations, then economic benefits will flow to them and to the entire region. The deal has the potential to remake the region and lead to lasting peace. I've noticed a couple of bizarre things in the reporting over the last few hours. Firstly, the people who rightly said Donald Trump was a historic president a month ago are now criticizing a deal based on unconfirmed media reports. I completely agree with this, by the way. The backstabbing is insane. Trump starts the war, everyone's saying that he's backstabbing America. They stab him in the back because he's starting a war. He said no new wars. The reality is Iran's been at war with us for 47 years. He said for the last 40 years his plan was to destroy Iran. All right, he did not betray America by going to war with Iran. He was following through on basically everything he's always said. So yeah, so a lot of people backstabbed him over that, and now people are backstabbing him over a deal. I really feel like it's kind of disgusting that we're not letting him cook. Second, people who say you can't trust a word said by the IRGC now apparently believe anonymously sourced social media posts. Also true. True. People are just being like, oh, well, the Islamic Republic said that America's folding. Why the fuck do you believe these retards? The president is going to get us a good outcome one way or another, and ultimately, I am counting on that. So I do like this tweet. Now, one thing that I didn't like was JD said something retarded.
Kristen, this is how wars ultimately get settled. If you go back to World War II, if you go back to World War I, if you go back to every major conflict in human history, they all end with some kind of negotiation. Kristen,
that is bullshit. That is fucking lies. Sorry, Mr. JD. I like Mr. JD in general, but this shit's fucking shit. All right, this is propaganda slop that they're trying to shovel down your throats. No, World War II did not end with negotiations. Community note, World War II ended with unconditional surrender by Germany on May 8th, 1945, and Japan on September 2, 1945, rather than negotiation. That's right. Remember when we dropped 2 nukes on Japan, and then Japan waved the white flag because we dropped 2 nukes on their ass and we could have done that more times? Yeah, that's called unconditional surrender. That was not negotiation. And I actually believe in the doctrine of winning wars. If the war starts, we need to win it. Wind down with negotiations and shit? Nah. I do not believe in negotiating with terrorists. Which is why I am hoping and I expect this negotiation on Trump's part to be part of a master plan. Now, JD, on the other hand, has been pushing for this the entire time to the point that he's rewriting history as well. And that shit's weird. I'm not going to lie. That shit's a little odd. Now, in Iran, and I think this is one of the things that Donald Trump is counting on, Special Forces units attacked the gatherings of Basij and IRGC members at 9 p.m. in several parts of Tehran using batons and tear gas. Once the surrender document is signed, they're done for. All that's left is the right moment to call to action and overthrow. See, I think this is one of the major things that the Donald is planning. All right, on the one hand, I believe that American foreign policy needs to be utilized purely and utterly for the benefit of America. I really do believe that. I know it's a controversial take, but I am very America first in this regard. If we go to war with Iran, I think that we should be going to war with Iran because they pose a threat to us. All right, and we have. So I think that the Donald might be using this peace deal after weakening them severely through our bombing campaigns. We wiped out their navy, their military, to the point that they could get overthrown from within on a much easier level. And I do believe that the CIA will probably be arming and giving weapons to the Iranian people. See, I think this is all part of the Donald strategy, still kicking off in Iran. Infighting is pissing off the IRGC leadership. Now, Iran's Fars news agency, this is just 4 hours ago, says no final decision has been taken on the peace deal with the U.S. Again, you can never trust Iran, and this is also being posted by Al Jazeera, who fucking sucks and they're horrible. So this shouldn't exactly be surprising to you either. But the point is, all right, there's still a lot of shaky shit, and I see so many people complaining on all sides. In my personal life, I have heard bitching about this, and it's, when did everyone become a panicking? Why are there no balls on any man that goes and cries and bitches about this? Hold up, bro. Let him cook. Oh my God. Now, Trey Yinks, this is Fox News reporter, says Israel struck Hezbollah in the Lebanese capital Beirut. This followed Hezbollah fire into northern Israel overnight. In fact, over the whole weekend, they've been firing into northern Israel. And this is the moment IDF struck Hezbollah's command center in Beirut, Lebanon. This is the capital of Lebanon. Well, let's just say this is a very, very big moment. And a lot of people are very upset about this. Mostly Hezbollah terrorists are upset about this. Yeah, mostly Hezbollah. Not very happy about the fact that Israel managed to fuck up their headquarters in their capital city. Especially because Iran has essentially stated the entire time, how dare you touch Beirut? Never, never. So just understand, Israel attacks Hezbollah targets in Beirut in retaliation its attacks on northern Israel. Netanyahu says why this matters is because Iran threatened to retaliate for any Israeli attack on Beirut. Now, the Israeli military notified Central Command shortly before the strike in Beirut. This is according to both Israeli and U.S. officials. I believe Axios published this. Netanyahu said himself, we attacked in Daya in Beirut, targets of the terror organization Hezbollah. Israel will not tolerate fire into its territory. And I'm not going to lie to you, I think this is still in lines with the Donald Trump strategy. There is no reason why Israel, or any other country for that matter, should tolerate getting bombed by terrorist organizations across their border and not do anything. And I fully stand with that, I'm not going to lie. Israel warned that any Hezbollah rocket fire would be met with strikes on Beirut. Hezbollah launched 6 attacks onto northern Israel. Israel struck Beirut. Iran calls Israel's strike an attempt to sabotage the deal and vows a response. Yeah, it's the classic cycle of terrorism every time. All right, you got the terrorists bombing civilians, and the terrorists complain when they face consequences. Etc., etc. Around and around we go. The Middle East war update. IRGC is not happy with Trump's deal. Hezbollah breaks ceasefire by hitting Israel. IDF launches strikes into Beirut. IRGC vows to return to war if Beirut is hit. Hey, there you got your classic middle sand people hullabaloo. Right, the sand people are fighting again, guys. Iran peace deal is still scheduled to be signed today, according to the President of the United States, and this was posted after Israel strikes in Beirut. My stance is simple. I think that Hezbollah, a terror organization that killed 240 of our Marines in Beirut, could fucking eat shit and die. And if Israel wants to take care of them, then I salute my brothers in the sand wars for fucking killing those motherfuckers. Based as fuck. Keep doing that, please. Of course, a lot of the critics are like, but how could they just pinpoint strike the headquarters in Beirut, but they're destroying entire villages in southern Lebanon? Because there are terrorists that have dug hundreds of miles of tunneling from Lebanon into Israel in those southern villages, so they need to clear out the people to destroy the tunnels. That's like one of the major conflict situations. In fact, over 60% of the operations that Israel had in Gaza were dismantling tunnels that Hamas terrorists have been digging. Because we, and by we I mean Americans, have been funding Hamas for years through USAID and various other projects, and they have been taking that money to build tunnels into Israel instead of infrastructure. Instead of building up, they build down. Fucking rats. I actually just think Islamic terrorists are deplorable humans, and honestly, whenever they die, it's just cause for celebration, actually. Kill them before they kill you. That is biblical doctrine, and it's based, actually. In other news, because the Donald can't just keep focusing on one thing at a time, President Trump announced the U.S. military assassinated Venezuela's trendy Aragua gang leader, Nino Guerrero, in kinetic strike, bro. While we are dealing with a major conflict in the Middle East, we are still eliminating terrorists in our backyard. Fucking W. Holy shit, that's insane. So this is what the Donald decided to post. It's quite the banger. And my direction, the United States Southern Command delivered a swift and lethal kinetic strike to successfully eliminate Nino Guerrero, infamous leader of Tren de Aragua, one of the most bloodthirsty terrorist organizations on planet Earth. We filled out the June bingo card already. Before I returned to office, Joe Biden opened our southern border to millions of illegal criminals and allowed this foreign army to rape, maim, and murder American citizens with total impunity. During my campaign, I pledged to expel these monsters from our country and bring justice to the families of those they slaughtered, including the precious 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungare, 22-year-old Laken Riley, and countless other beautiful souls. With this action, the United States military had brought retribution for them, their families, and their loved ones. Early in my administration, I delivered on the promise to designate Tren de Aragua as a foreign terrorist organization, deport thousands of evil criminals, and wage war against the cartels who have been waging war against our citizens. While weak leaders left America helpless and defensive, this action was coordinated closely with our friends in Venezuela. Remember when we were told that the operation of Venezuela would fail? With whom we are working very well. As a result, Tren de Aragua terrorists no longer have safe haven in Venezuela or anywhere else. And under my leadership, we will find these vicious murderers and drug lords anytime, any place, and send them to the depths of hell where they belong. God bless America, President Donald J. Trump. And I will sign off by saying, killing terrorists is fucking awesome, actually. Religion of peace becoming religion of pieces very quickly. No, I'm kidding. This was a different terror story. Hey! Not all Muslims are terrorists. Most terrorists are Muslim, but not all. All right, we got to keep moving. So, speaking of Muslims, the entire Islamic community is losing their mind that Marco Rubio has been spitting such facts.
Ultimately, all radical Islamic movements in the world identify the West writ large, but the United States in particular, as the greatest evil on the earth. And every chance they have.
You will notice that by how every single Muslim in America hates us. Actually, I know. It's like, bro, why are you like throwing everyone into like one pot? Because they all. What do you want me to say? Even like you got the left wingers, the Hassan Pikers, the Mehdi Hassans, like all these fuckers. They hate us. They got the base right wingers, the sneakos. They also fucking hate us. All right, so like you proved me wrong by showing me one actually very religious Muslim man that doesn't hate America. You will not succeed. Because it's actually just part of the religion to hate America.
The notion that somehow radical Islam would be comfortable with simply controlling some province in Iraq or Syria is just not borne out by history. Radical Islam has shown that their desire is not simply to occupy one part of the world and be happy with their own little caliphate. They want to expand. It is a
I love that we have people in the government that actually talk like this and are aware of this. You know, this is like the ultimate giga taboo.
In its nature, it seeks to expand and control more territories and more people. And radical Islam has designs openly on the West, on the United States, on Europe. We've seen that progress there as well. And they are prepared to conduct acts of terrorism. In the case of Iran, nation-state actions, assassinations, murders, you name it, whatever it takes for them to gain their influence and ultimately their domination of different cultures and societies. That's a clear and imminent threat to the world and to the broader West.
God, it's so based for this.
States, who they identify as the chief source of evil on the planet. Okay, the reason why they hate the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the leadership of the UAE, of Bahrain, is because they've allowed the United States to partner with them. That's why they hate them. They consider them infidels for it. They hate Israel. But they also hate America. And they hate anywhere in the world that we have influence, they seek to attack it, including here in the homeland. If you look at the domestic terrorists, at the attacks that have happened here domestically, the overwhelming majority of them have been inspired by radical Islamic viewpoints. And that includes the shooting in the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida. That includes the Saudi pilot in Pensacola, my home state, 2 attacks.
That's right. And you have so many more of those, all right, that are, thank God, thwarted. Now, one of the biggest controversies in regards to foreign conflicts over years, honestly, was this quote-unquote conspiracy theory that the United States was funding biolabs in different countries, like Ukraine, for example, with all the money that's getting sent there. And apparently, Tulsi Gabbard, right, the Director of National Intelligence of the United States, just released this. All right, so this is a viral video. It got 17.5 million views, 234,000 likes. Everyone is talking about it. All right, so lock in. This is insane.
After months of searching through intelligence community holdings and files, today I'm releasing new evidence of long-standing U.S. government funding of more than 120 biolabs in over 30 countries.
The thing that we were told we were crazy for asking about. Holy shit of holy.
Now, these biolabs include labs in places like Ukraine, which could be at risk of compromise due to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, the intelligence community had previously warned that a US-funded biolab in Ukraine likely housed dangerous pathogens and remained vulnerable to longstanding threats of Russian attack, seizure, or damage. Now, until now, evidence regarding the full existence and funding of these laboratories had been knowingly withheld from you, the American people. Many of these US government-funded biolabs are currently
told that Donald Trump was not actually being transparent about all this shit, and he's just, you know, like wading through infinite slop that was kind of left behind by the retards before him. And all of a sudden we're getting like information and confirmation of these conspiracies that we were told we were crazy about for years.
Or have previously engaged in research using hazardous and highly contagious pathogens, and in some cases included dangerous gain-of-function research with very little visibility or oversight. Now, President Trump clearly understands the serious threat dangerous gain-of-function research poses to the American people. And this is why he took decisive action over a year ago. On May 25th, 2025, he signed an executive order to end federal funding of gain-of-function research around the world. Here at ODNI, I issued new guidance to the intelligence community directing increased collection on these laboratories and facilities overseas. And we're already seeing the results of this increased collection. We're learning new details, for example, on clinical trials that are underway at these facilities and that are raising significant ethical, financial, and security concerns regarding the supposed public health initiatives and U.S. national security. Now, despite the obvious potential for catastrophic global impact that research on dangerous pathogens in biolabs can have, politicians and so-called health professionals like Dr. Fauci, as well as entities within the Biden administration's national security team, lied repeatedly to the American people about the existence of U.S.-funded and supported biolabs. Not only did they
that motherfucker. Oh my God, we gotta get rid of these people. We gotta get rid of these people. Oh my God, there has to be consequences for this shit, dude.
They lie. They threaten those who attempted to expose the truth. So this release today breaks new ground, as the information surrounding the existence, history, locations, and funding of these U.S.-funded biolabs has been intentionally covered up by very powerful people who falsely claimed that these biolabs didn't exist. Now, they accuse anyone who says otherwise to be foreign assets and traitors to America.
That's right. I remember that. Oh, you're saying that we're funding biolabs in Ukraine? Oh, you fool. You must be working for Russia. Oh, my God.
Now, ODNI will continue working closely with partners across the U.S. government to identify exactly where these labs are and what pathogens they contain to end.
To think that the Director of National Intelligence doesn't know that yet. Right, to think that it took a year to figure out they exist, and now we have to spend more time to find them. All right, just understand the level of the deep state, or whatever, the swamp actually is. This shit's unreal.
And dangerous gain-of-function research that threatens the health and well-being of the American people and people around the world.
Damn, that is crazy. Now, by the way, get ready for her to gear up. She's probably running for president in 2028. I won't vote for her. Don't get me wrong, but this is absolutely massive, absolutely huge. All right, now you know why everyone was going after Tulsi Gabbard so hard. All right, because she's fucking tired of this shit too. Unreal that this stuff just gets propped up on our tax dollars without us knowing about it, and it's not in our best interest, obviously. But I'm so happy that these conspiracies are getting torn down. Now, one of the big conspiracies that is currently being discussed is the fact that Tucker Carlson and many people of his ilk seem to be actually just shilling for Islamic regime propaganda. Like, this dude is on Iran's side of our conflict, all right? Now, you could say that you never wanted us to go to war to begin with. You didn't believe that they were developing nukes. If you don't believe that, it's okay. Everyone has the right to be retarded. They had 60% enriched uranium. They weren't do that to fucking power their greenhouses, okay? These people are fucking evil monsters that wanted us dead, obviously. But if you're against the Iran war, sure, okay. But why would you be on the side of Iran in the war? And he makes it very clear he is.
To an end to Israeli bombing and murder in Lebanon. So
Israel's blowing up terrorists in Lebanon that are shooting rockets into Israel. No! Again, this is fucking sad as shit.
In the eyes of
Hezbollah, which killed hundreds of our people. Like, it's insane that we're doing this.
Of the region, whatever people hate about Iran, and there's a lot that the Arabs hate about Iran.
Yeah, they massacred 40,000 of their own people. They also bombed every single one of their neighboring countries to the point that all the Arab countries in the Gulf were on our side this entire conflict. Think about how insane it is that Tucker Carlson is on Iran's side when all the Arab countries are on our side. Do you understand how insane this is?
They are uniquely standing up for the Palestinians.
That's right. Think about how Iran is standing up for the Palestinians, bro. Palestine grift is fucking insane. The fact that people are falling for the Palestine grift, holy shit. We have to start making fun of these people. A lot of people don't have the balls to make fun of the people who do this. We really need to start humiliating these people. Palestinians launched multiple wars against Israel, that they started all of them, and they lost all of them because they're fucking retards. Oh, but the Palestinians, they're occupied. When have they not been occupied? The Palestinians are Arabs. They came from Arabia, all right, during the Ottoman Empire, where they were occupied by the Ottomans, okay? Then they were occupied by the British. Then they were occupied by the Jews, all right? They've always been occupied. They've never been indigenous. And even if they would be indigenous, they lost the war. And now it's time for them to move the fuck on. No, they decided they had to start many more wars that they wanted to lose so bitterly. Like, we have to stop with this Palestine grift. It's fucking insane. But he's on Iran's side because they're standing up for the Palestinians. Think Iran gives a shit about the Palestinians? Iran killed millions in the region through themselves and their proxies. They don't care about Palestine. They're just using Palestine as the useful morons that they could stand on and be like, oh, well, look at these poor Palestinians. Oh, we must kill the Jews now. And also America. Also bad. We have to kill America too because Palestinians. They've contributed to the deaths of over 1 million people in just Yemen plus Syria alone. Forget what they've done in Iraq. Forget what they've done to their own people in Iran. They're horrible, evil monsters. Standing up for the Palestinians. They don't give a shit about the Palestinians, and everyone knows that. Now, Sneeko has the same exact take. Iran is the only nation fighting for the oppression in Palestine. Holy fuck, dude. Sneeko and Tucker Carlson with the same takes. Very organic. Now, you know who thinks that this isn't organic? This was the biggest twist I've ever seen in my entire life. Qatar. The leader of the Qatari National Democratic Party, Sheikh Khalid Al-Hayil, says that Tucker Carlson does have financial interests in Qatar, and that he is part of the propaganda machine.
Please tell us if Qatar is paying Tucker Carlson.
Carlson, first of all, I am very disappointed with him. I was respecting him as an independent journalist, but what happened after visiting Qatar in Doha forum, where he was driving and passing by the people who slaughter his own people in America, and he was saying American first, that was a big disaster and disrespect to the American people. That's number one.
Oh,
and
shit.
The second thing, Tucker Carlson, he's very well known for having financial interest. Without his financial interest, he will not move. So yes, 100%, I do believe he have a financial interest with the Qatari government.
Dude, what the fuck are we doing? The leader of the Qatari National Democratic Party is saying that Tucker Carlson is literally a propaganda machine by the Qatari government?
And there is some hidden story behind his current propaganda machine.
Please tell.
Bro, what the fuck is happening? This is the like, dude. I'm used to like, you know, you get some freaking whacked out Jew that wants to say that he's paid by Qatar, and it's like, okay, the Jews say everyone's paid by Qatar, but dog, Qatar is saying he's paid by Qatar. What are we doing now? In fact, if you want to understand how bad the psyop actually is and how retards are falling in for it so badly, here is a clip of former Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar. This is the guy who orchestrated the October 7th massacre. He's dead now and rotting in shit as we speak. He's telling a Vice journalist about George Floyd getting murdered.
أغتنم هذه الفرصة
And I want to take this opportunity
وإحنا بنعيش
to
ذكرى
remember the racist murder of George Floyd.
لجورج فلويد.
George Floyd, says Hamas leader. This guy is the leader of Hamas. They're currently raping their own people in Gaza. Okay, he is a fucking monster. He would like to remember the racist murder of George Floyd. Dog, they are playing the left like fucking fiddles.
George Floyd
was killed as a result of racial ideology held by some people. Now, for those of you that are unaware, did you know that there is a district in Gaza called the Abid district? Abid is Arabic for slave. It is the district for black people in Gaza called the slave district. It's still, well, it did exist before, you know, they lost the war very miserably that they started. But literally, all right, so these guys are going to tell you about racism. They have fucking Mickey Mouse cartoons about, oh, kids, are you going to grow up and stab Jews? Literally, that is the television in Gaza. And he is here on Vice telling leftoid journalists about George Floyd, the leader of Hamas. The same racism that killed George Floyd is being used by Israel against the Palestinians. Do you see the psyop? In Jerusalem, in Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood. Now, interestingly enough, 22% of the population of Israel are Arabs are Palestinian Arabs that are now perfectly integrated into Israeli society, and they vote in Israeli elections. All right, 22% of the fucking country. All right, pretty weird.
الغربية بحرق
In the
أطفالنا
West Bank, the burning of our
وضد
children
أهل قطاع
against the
غزة
Gaza
من
Strip.
خلال حصار
And then he decided to start a fucking war and died. All right, based. Anyway, so this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. We got the leader of Hamas saying that George Floyd. So yeah, so this is the psyop is very obvious. Now Tucker Carlson's recent rants have been about how actually Israel is trying to kill Trump, which is weird because he was talking about how Israel controls Trump and also how Israel kills Trump through the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. Right. So this is Tucker Carlson telling a fascinating story about how Israel's trying to kill Trump.
I know that about Butler. I know that Trump shut down the investigation into Butler. That is a fact. Dan Bongino
That is a fact.
told me that when he worked at the FBI.
All right, so Dan Bongino, remember this. Dan Bongino told Tucker Carlson that Donald Trump shut down the investigation into Butler, Pennsylvania's assassination of him.
And Dan Bongino himself was terrified when I spoke to him in December. It's such a long, boring story, but basically I came into possession, I beg your pardon, accidentally came into possession of a lot of the social media posts that we were told didn't exist that were posted by Thomas Crooks in the months and years before the shooting. And I was amazed that the FBI had lied about this. So I called Kash Patel and I later called Dan Bongino and I says, what is this? I'm not attacking you. It was the previous FBI administration that did this. It was Chris Wray, but what is this? And Dan Bongino became hysterical with me on the phone. I've known Dan a long time, for many years, and always got along with him. Whatever his faults, nice guy, certainly very nice to me. I never had a problem with Dan ever. And that problem began when I brought this information to his attention, and he became a different person. He was clearly terrified. I didn't get it at first, but he was hysterical. And ultimately, after a long series of text exchanges, which I still have, and phone conversations, he said, look, take it up with Trump. He's the one who shut down the investigation. And that was, I think, the first or second week of December. I think it was the beginning of the second week of December.
So let's get this straight. Israel, who controls Trump, tried to assassinate Trump. And Trump shut down the investigation because he didn't actually want to find out who was trying to assassinate him. That's a good story. And it was confirmed by Dan Bongino. So Dan Bongino says, more receipts incoming on my show today that the Nepo baby is lying again. He's like Teddy Ruxpin. You put a coin in his back and he tells you a story. And he made an entire video, an entire hour-long explanation as to exactly how Tucker Carlson is lying. And he showed all the text messages. He's never said that Trump shut down the investigation. He said that he was satisfied with the conclusion of the investigation, that it was a leftist. All right? He never shut down the investigation. In fact, on the Daily Caller, Trump says he's very satisfied with the official narrative of the Butler assassination. That's not Trump secretly shutting it down behind the scenes because he thinks Israel was trying to kill him.
Butler assassination, June 2026. Look this up yourself. Hey, Justin, who founded the Daily Caller? Because you may say, well, this is just bias, Dan. This is a pro-FBI. Oh, my gosh, Tucker Carlson and Neil Patel.
Yeah, so Tucker Carlson is the founder of the Daily Caller who published the article on how Trump was very satisfied with the official narrative. So again, it's just lies and lies and lies and propaganda, and everything that comes out of this guy's mouth is just actually just jihadist propaganda, to the point that people in Qatar think that he's a propaganda machine. The leader of the Qatari National Democratic Party being like, Tucker Carlson is a propaganda machine from Qatar. You literally cannot make this shit up. Ironically, there is one guy that no one can pay off, no foreign governments can pay this guy to betray America because no one can afford him. Elon Musk has become the world's first trillionaire today. This is pretty incredible news. As a big fan of capitalism myself, it means that he's a hard worker, and I guess God favored him. But here we are, we're on that timeline, and I am not going to confirm or deny whether I was able to buy stock into SpaceX early. What I'm saying is I would love to see him continue succeeding. That's right, baby. I way prefer this guy contributing to the future of humanity over giving infinite money to Africa, where they can continue to do nothing with it. I'm just saying, we gave trillions to Africa. That place still freaking sucks. Yes, I'd rather Elon Musk have it, actually. Oh, no, but Nux, how could you possibly say such a thing? How could you say such a thing? Well, this is a viral story that was literally just going viral today in Brazil. All right, you're not ready for what you are about to witness because it might break your mind. All right, so viral in Brazil, 21-year-old dies after workers forget to attach safety rope and throw her off a bridge. She's supposed to be bungee jumping. They just threw her off a cliff without hooking up the thing. Yeah, so anyway, very happy that we have a trillionaire that's contributing to the future of humanity instead of giving infinite more money to Africa. Elon hits 1 trillion. Democrats wish we could steal that. This has basically been the entire timeline. It is unreal. I have to show you some very unhappy humans. All right, so Jimmy Kimmel warned against obscenely wealthy weirdo Elon Musk becoming the world's first trillionaire. So Ben Shapiro gets involved. Multi-millionaire paid by multi-billionaires, very angry at trillionaire. Hassan Piker drops some incredible commentary. Multi-millionaire paid by multi-billionaires to defend trillionaire. And of course, everyone wants to point out the fact that Hassan Piker is a multi-millionaire paid by multi-billionaires like Neville Roy Singham to convince retards that money is bad. All right, just understand. This you in Cuba with your $10,000 fit going to poor people in Cuba, it's just honestly miserable stuff. It really is. It's incredible. Personally, I'm a really big fan of Elon Musk at this point. I understand he has his little, crash outs every once in a while when he gets exposed cheating in a video game or whatever. With no uncertain terms, I believe him purchasing Twitter has altered the course of humanity for the better. And him helping Donald Trump become president of the United States, I think, quite literally and unambiguously saved America. Billionaire communist incredibly mad. All right, now Hassan is having a complete and utter crash out over Elon Musk becoming the world's wealthiest man again, which he already was, but now there's a T in front of it.
Beyond record.
Yeah, by the way, not banned from the UK. Not banned from the UK, by the way. How interesting. Elon Musk could travel to the UK right now.
It's almost like he doesn't endorse terrorist organizations. It's like, wow, Elon Musk can go to the UK. Bro, it's so fucking sad. It's the saddest shit in the world.
Tomorrow, and no one would say a goddamn word. I, on the other hand, am banned from the fucking United Kingdom.
Yes. You support multiple terrorist organizations. You should be banned from the United States too, but we're not so lucky yet. And now, let's not forget that while Hassan is having his generational crash out over Elon Musk, the old Hassan, holy shit, bro must have skipped head day. All right, old Hassan was a massive Elon Musk fanboy. Man, how things change.
Shout out to Elon Musk, the ultimate swag champion of all time, for unveiling his latest invention, the Hyperloop, earlier this afternoon. According to Musk, the Hyperloop will also be faster than a bullet train and at a fraction of the cost. Now, the serious question I have for Elon Musk is this. How do you have the time to come up with this shit when women are probably tossing their salads your way faster than you can say Hyperloop in every single corner? You're a
He was a huge, massive Elon Musk cock gobbler before he started collaborating with Elon Musk's ex-girlfriends and estranged children to basically piss him off and support terrorist organizations. Man, if that is not a fall off, I don't know. This is fucking crazy. Anyway, it gets worse.
designated genius, you're a good-looking dude, and you happen to be a fucking billionaire. Aside from being able to get...
And now he thinks all billionaires are automatically evil. What changed? What changed, Hassan?
people from San Francisco to LA in under 30 minutes. At today's press conference, you managed to give every single member of Al-Qaeda the massivest hard-on ever. Anyway...
And he used to make fun of Al-Qaeda, and now he supports them? Bro! What happened to Hassan? What happened to him?
Wait, Elon, I admire your...
He just developed a fan base and an audience of terrorists and communists in his fucking Twitch chat, and he felt the need to completely and utterly kowtow to every possible ideology that's bred on Reddit. Like, it's unreal. Like, he used to be a human. A cringe human, don't get me wrong, but a human.
Your conquest in becoming the real-life Tony Stark without the creepy facial hair, and for that, you are our bro of the week.
Unreal. So Hassan Piker used to glaze him constantly. Now he's just so mad. He's so mad. Now this clip was going super viral too. This is Hassan. He just went on a podcast and they asked him, hey, have you read books? He's like, yeah, I read lots of books. It's like, can you name one? And he couldn't name a book.
Did you read a lot of books when you were growing up?
I read a decent amount. I don't really read as much anymore, but I did when I was growing up.
Any books stick out in your head as memorable ones?
All right, here we go. Name a book.
No.
Name a book, sir.
I don't know. I have no like immediate books that come to mind. I'm also terrible at recall in general. If you ask me about any songs, for example, I can never tell you any of the lyrics.
You're a sociopath.
Or if you ask me about like what my favorite movie is, I have a very hard time pulling from my brain. Maybe it's because it's packed with ridiculous pieces of information.
Oh, you know so much shit.
About.
He didn't know that what the Western Wall was, all right, in Jerusalem. He talked about infinite commentary on like geopolitics in the Middle East. He didn't know what the Western Wall was.
Like American politics or American history or just world history in general.
Give us a ridiculous piece of information.
Okay,
so give me a piece of info.
Putting me on the spot. I'm gonna give you a ridiculous piece of information.
Oh, no. And now we know why Hassan Piker isn't a trillionaire.
I'm also very jet lagged right now.
Right, yeah.
I've been traveling quite a bit this past month. What's a ridiculous piece of information I can give you?
It's painful, man.
Abraham Lincoln is the first bisexual American president. And he was in a gay relationship with his bodyguard.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Here's what I don't get.
Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. This is the saddest shit I've ever seen. Oh, Lord. So, Boynie Sanders, very unhappy that Elon Musk is very successful because, unfortunately, a lot of you don't realize that thou shalt not covet, the 10th commandment, is actually explicitly against this. And that is obviously why the left loves it. I mean, all of the, like, literally. Thou shalt not murder, and then they legalize abortion. Thou shalt not steal, and they're like, yes, micro-looting is acceptable from big corporations. Thou shalt not covet, and they're like, holy shit, I'm really mad that Elon Musk is very successful and built like a lot of crazy shit. We have to steal it from him. Thou shalt not commit adultery, and then these guys are like starting all their gangbang, orgy, sex shit. I'm telling you, man, it's an actual checklist. They satanic checklist. All right, so this is Bernie Sanders talking about how he had enough money to buy 3 homes. All right, I'm going to show you his crash out on Elon Musk in a minute. You just have to understand what we're dealing with.
See a term, you know what? Let's buy a house. So we bought a house, and guess what? Like many thousands of people in the state of Vermont, I have a summer camp. It's a nice one on Lake Champlain. That's it. Now, how did I get the money? You're right. I wrote 2 best-selling books, including this book on capitalism. It was New York Times bestseller for a while. See a term, you know what? Let's buy a house. So we bought a house.
Understand. He wrote books on anti-capitalism and sold them, which is partaking in capitalism, to make money to buy houses. So he has 3 homes because he hates capitalism so much, he monetized the shit out of it, and now he's worth like $10-20 million because he's taking money from like big pharma and shit like that. All right, so just understand the level of retard we're actually dealing with. All right, I have to show you the Elizabeth Warren one after. Dude, they're all so good. They're all so good. All right, Elon. All right, things he built, robots and Starlinks and Teslas and SpaceX, and Bernie Sanders complained about things for a very long time. So Borny over here is becoming a generational meme. All right, so Borny released the ultimate fucking tweet. It's truly incredible. Elon Musk's rise to trillionaire status is not a time to celebrate. I disagree. It's a call for action to take on the unprecedented income and wealth inequality that now exists and the greed and power of the ruling class that is destroying the social fabric of America. Him being a trillionaire does not make you poorer. Okay? Holy shit, these people fucking suck. It's unreal. Elon Musk creates 4,400 millionaires, all right, to include hundreds of working class people in one IPO, all right? This is crazy. You know how many millionaires Bernie Sanders created? 1. Himself, bro. Socialists are cringe, and they fucking suck, and they are anti-reality, they're anti-God, they're immoral psychopaths that drink the blood of the unfortunate to fund their infinite guilt machine. Our democracy cannot survive when one man who contributed $290 million to get Trump elected becomes $700 million richest in Trump's election. For those of you unaware, yes, he contributed $290 million or whatever to get Trump elected. You do realize that Kamala Harris's campaign outspent Trump's by a massive margin, all right? And actually, you want to hear the truth, Nuke? I would love it if the guy that spent $290 million to save Western civilization got richer to have more money to spend on saving Western civilization. I know, incredibly hot take, but fuck yeah. This is the kind of guy that I want to see become a trillionaire. Our economy cannot sustain itself when one man owns more wealth than the bottom half of society. He's not taking money from them, right? He's working hard. He's making things. He's actually creating things in the world, all right? And a lot of these guys that are at the bottom half of society should get jobs. Sorry, I'm just being real. This shit sucks. It sucks to read. When 60% of our people live paycheck to paycheck, when we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major nation, our kids will have a lower standard of living than their parents. For the record, no one is dying and starving. We are living in the richest civilization in the history of the world. Never before has there ever been a time that there is no starvation in an entire country. The poorest person in the country is not starving. We have an obesity crisis, not a starvation crisis in America. Elon Musk has contributed to the country. He has given jobs to thousands of people. Bernie Sanders has contributed nothing to anybody. He has bitched and moaned on our pay. Right? We are paying this man's salary. He has bitched and moaned for 50 years in the government or some shit, and he has never accomplished anything. It is insane to me that he views himself as contributing to America or whatever, and Elon isn't. It is insane. This is not just about wealth, it's about power. Musk and his fellow oligarchs want it all. Together we must fight back, and we can. And Musk to create an economy and a government that works for us, not the million, either Musk and the millionaires. Motherfucker, all of the millionaires vote for Democrats. Why do you think that is? Why did you take millions of dollars from big pharma companies? Huh? You are literally owned by these people. It's insane. It's actually insane. So just understand, this is the Bernie Sanders ride, all right? You want to keep the minimum wage low and give tax break to millionaires. Donald Trump, that is not what makes America great. All right, so this was in 2015. Bernie Sanders was not a millionaire. Are we comfortable seeing a huge increase in millionaires? I have people living in poverty than ever. I know I'm not. First of all, this is a lie. It's hyperbole. Obviously, people are not living more in poverty now than ever. All right, this was in 2016. He was not a millionaire yet. All right, this is in 2017. He was not a millionaire. Are we comfortable with our nation's huge increase of millionaires, more people living in poverty? All right, so he made the same tweet twice. Thought no one would notice, but both of them when he was not a millionaire. All right, and then he makes this tweet over here in 2019. Once he's a millionaire, billionaires should not exist. All right. Okay. We see the game, sir. We see the game. Now, it is pretty remarkable. I do have to say, bro, the memes about him are incredible. This is what Bernie thinks Elon's net worth is. This is what his actual net worth is. And it's insane that people live in such a retarded society that they think that this is what it's all about. So Elizabeth Warren, another one of these leftoids, decided to post one of these shitting videos just crying about how Elon Musk is successful or something, which, I mean, used to be the American dream until Democrats hijacked it. All right, so you gotta watch these people bitching.
Elon Musk is officially the world's first trillionaire.
Congratulations, Elon! Keep doing good shit. We're gonna go to Mars. It's gonna be great. We're gonna go to Mars. He's gonna take all the people that actually do shit to Mars. We're gonna colonize Mars. And you can't. You can't come. All right, because you are against colonization. We will colonize Mars. And all the leftists that are against colonialism, they'll stay here. And then at some point, they'll want to come to Mars. We'll need someone to deliver Uber Eats, okay? We'll bring in Jorge. And then we're gonna get Mars ice. Bro, it's crazy. They're gonna go to Mars. They're gonna take 500 Mars dollars, which is gonna be worth like 100 million Earth dollars.
Think about that. We're living in a time when more and more people are just hanging on by their fingernails to survive in this economy.
She says, riding in the back of a limousine worth like $30 million or some shit.
And Elon Musk has more money and more wealth than anyone in human history.
Based.
I want to be clear. This is not just some fluke.
You're right. He started many successful companies.
It is a feature of a rigged economy.
You are literally worth $30 million or some shit. Like this lady is worth a crazy amount of money. Right? She's worth $12 million. Okay?
Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill cut healthcare for millions of Americans.
Based. It didn't cut healthcare for millions of Americans. It cut healthcare for illegals and for people that didn't deserve to get healthcare. Like people that were in the country without documentation. All right, for example, which is based. I do not want to be paying for the healthcare of these retards. The big, beautiful bill gave tax breaks to everyone, primarily the middle class. Middle working class got the best tax breaks from the big, beautiful bill. All right, keep crying, though.
To give guys like Elon bigger tax breaks.
Yes, and also guys like me and you and her, all right? We all got tax breaks, you know, because we don't need to be funding illegal aliens getting healthcare, actually, and that's awesome. Because we purged the actual healthcare rolls for people that were dead, that were still collecting healthcare somehow.
The tax code rewards CEOs for firing workers and replacing them with AI.
Based. Why the fuck should anyone be forced to hire dead weight when they are not needed? Based, actually. Are we serious?
Loopholes have allowed Jeff Bezos to pay an effective tax rate lower than a Boston public school teacher.
Loophole sounds like a nice way to say that it had nothing to do with Trump or the big beautiful bill, and it's just an issue that has always existed.
And we are left with a country where a handful of billionaires at the top pop champagne in their $300 million yachts.
I'm glad she brings this up, because Gavin Newsom has a yacht, but Elon Musk does not have a yacht.
While working people take on even more shifts to try to pay off their student loan debt.
So they shouldn't be getting college degrees in useless bullshit. Unfortunately, on the entire left, there is a mind rape operation going on, where they are doing their absolute utmost to convince retards that they need to go to college to get a degree in lesbian butt sex. And they'll take a loan, and they'll have debt, and they'll never be able to pay it back because their degree is fucking worthless garbage. Maybe convince people to actually get jobs that don't require infinite student loan debt. All right, maybe teach people that if they go to college to get a degree, the degree should actually mean something. I don't know, like to become a doctor, an accountant, or a lawyer, or something that can actually pay bills. Not degrees and nebulous garbage and gobbledygook and bullshit that you're convincing strong, independent women that they need. Maybe that's the major issue when it comes to student loan debt.
The top 1% of U.S. earners now have more wealth than the entire middle class.
Yes. Yes, they do, because they worked hard, and thank God, or whatever, they were able to succeed, and with God's help, they became incredibly rich. And you know who it doesn't negatively affect at all? The entire middle class. She is coming from the perverted ideology of, oh, because they have things that I want, I should just be allowed to take it. That is a cancerous ideology. Just because Elon Musk is rich, it doesn't make me poorer.
We need to overhaul our tax code. We need a wealth tax.
Agreed. We need to stop taxing people. Tax is cringe. The money goes to the government and then it gets sent to Somalia or some shit on fraud. I agree we need to overhaul our tax code. I don't think anyone should be paying more than 10% to tax. This is like actual robbery to fund illegal aliens and retards that are invading our country. It's true.
And it's about time that corporations paid their fair share. Today's markup should be a wake-up call that enough is enough.
All right, so this comes from retard. Is she actually lecturing us about rich people from the back of a limousine? Yup. Hey, Pocahontas, it's been over a year since I asked you this. You still haven't told us. How did you earn your $12 million on a $12 million net worth on a salary of $176,000 a year?
End of the warrant, I just want to answer a question. How did you get a $12 million net worth on a $200,000 salary in Congress? How did you do that?
Yeah, how did you do that?
How did you do that? You can keep trying to block my camera. We're on a public sidewalk, so... Get off of me. So you don't want to answer that question. What is it about Doge that's such a problem to you? You just elbowed me, Senator. I got that on camera.
Excuse us. Thank you.
Transparent.
Yeah, so just understand exactly what we're dealing with. So these are the people that are going to manipulate you to basically control you. That's the goal. Now, Ro Khahana, the next guy, this Indian dude or whatever, that he's in our country for some reason, and an even bigger mystery is that he's in our government. Like, this is a foreigner who obviously doesn't like America. He doesn't believe in law enforcement or immigration enforcement. For some reason, he's in our government. I can't believe it. Musk is now worth more than South Africa's GDP. I guess South Africa's shit. What do you want me to say? Bernie Sanders said I proposed a 5% tax on people like him. In 1 year, it could fund free public college and trade school, but it won't. But it won't, because that 5% tax, that's going to go to fraud. $10 a day child care, but it won't go to that. You know what it will go to? Fraud, special needs education, nationwide, but it won't go to that. You see, the thing is, and this is going to be a really controversial take, I actually trust Elon Musk with the money more than I trust the government with the money. By the fact that Elon Musk is incredibly wealthy, I have a Tesla that I really like a lot. I have free speech on Twitter, which I really like a lot. We have Donald Trump as president, which is way better than the alternative. Actually, I way prefer Elon Musk having $1 trillion than the government having a couple more zeros that you can fucking tack onto their fucking infinite money pool that they spend on bullshit. Actually, I just trust the private sector so much more than the public sector. You see how much fraud there is. I don't trust the government. And everyone uses this, like, logic as, well, if we just take tax at 5% of the dollars, we can fund all these things. But you don't. The government taxes people so much fucking money. And no, it doesn't actually go to anything of use. And get a load of this one. Ro Kahana is worth $230 million. How about you donate the $200 million that you have first before you talk about stealing anyone else's money? All right, it is unreal watching these dipshits go out there to virtue signal. Bro is worth so much fucking money. He comes into our country. Understand how this works. This dude comes into our country from whatever the fuck shithole he spawned in. All right, he shows up here. He gets infinite money because he games the system, ultimately. It's not like Ro Kahana over here produced $230 million of value anywhere, unlike Elon Musk, who actually did, by the way. So he produces nothing of value. He's worth $230 million, and he just sits there advocating to take money from other people and to open the borders and get rid of ICE and import infinite more retards into the country, exactly like him. All right, yeah, I'm tired of this, man. I really am. It's insane. Gavin Newsom, he jumps in the fray as well. Americans are struggling to pay for groceries and gas while Elon Musk becomes a trillionaire. When the federal government is for sale, the rich get richer and everyone else gets shafted. Then why was the federal government literally, and I'm not even exaggerating, almost in the hands of Kamala Harris, the campaign which spent way more money than Donald Trump, by the way? And the funny thing is, this is coming from Gavin Newsom. Yes, the guy employing tens of thousands of people and providing goods and services for hundreds of millions of people is, quote, rigging the system. But the guy who has blown billions on scam projects is our defender. Okay, Gavin Newsom. Also, Gavin Newsom's worth $30 million. So this guy worth $30 million is going to lecture us about how it's unfair that Elon Musk is making a living and doing well as he's contributing to the world. Do you have any idea how much fucking bullshit scams went on in California under this guy's watch? Like, it's unreal. We got the light rail that goes to fucking nowhere, right? That's a pretty big one, right? That he supposedly spent so much money on, right? On this train that goes nowhere. All right, and Elon Musk does not own a yacht. Gavin Newsom does. Right, literally, let that sink in. Who is splurging their money on bullshit and like random commodities? It's insane watching this. Zohran Mamdani gets involved. Reason 1 trillion why we should tax the rich. All right, again, guy comes from India or whatever, Uganda, where the fuck he comes from. Comes from Uganda. He's in America, greatest country in the world. He's a millionaire too himself, obviously, because that's just how it works. You know, you get into office, you're all of a sudden rich, and we have to tax Elon infinitely high number. Reminder, Zohran and his family have an extra luxury home in Uganda in a neighborhood surrounded by armed security guards. You know why it needs to be surrounded by armed security guards? Because they're fucking back savages in Uganda that he's trying his absolute best to import into America. All right, so understand how that works. Now, this is like typical leftist discourse. That's not his family home in Uganda. Response, yes it is. So... leftist discourse. All right, women dodging accountability like they're Neo from the fucking Matrix. All right, and now I have to show you a couple of the saddest posts of the universe. I am 52 years old. I have been working since 15 years old. I have no savings, no retirement. I will never own a home before I die. And now there is a trillionaire. You are a loser, capital L, loser. Sorry, bro, I don't want to be that guy. You suck, bro. If you would have paid $8 for some Twitter blue, all right, these 8.2 million views on this post might have paid for something. Holy shit, what a loser. Now, the funniest thing is, you think if Elon Musk wasn't a trillionaire, this loser would have a fantastic life? No, he would still be the classic bitch, all right? And, you know, like, you just read this tweet, and you're like, all right, so this guy's obviously, like, a communist, leftist, Islamist retard. Like, you know it from the, like, this I am the victim because someone else is successful. And you just see it like, yeah, all right. Mask up! Bro, it's even better than I could have imagined. Free Palestine! Mad I wasted money in a Masters. Revolt or die. Oh, it's all the things. It's all the things! He's literally a Free Palestine communist mega masker that wasted all of his money on a useless degree. Oh my god, that's insane. All right, and there are so many of these. In nature, if a monkey hoarded 1 trillion bananas, and other monkeys would beat that monkey to death and take his bananas. Thank God we're not monkeys. Ah, yes. Also, you're calling an African man a monkey? Not very woke of you. All right, cute theory, but let's play it out. A monkey hoards 1 trillion bananas. The troop, enraged, beats it to death. They gather around the pile to feast at last. But oh wait, there is no pile. It turns out the bananas were shares in a banana launching company the dead monkey founded. The shares were worth 1 trillion because he was alive to run it. Now he is dead, and the stock is worth nothing. The retarded monkeys have clubbed their way into a recession, but it gets worse. Half of the bananas were tied up in a rocket that supplied bananas to monkeys on the far mountain that had no bananas at all. Another chunk was tied up in a little satellite dish that beamed banana coordinates to the troop after a flood took out the tree. So now they realize they beat to death the only monkey who knew how the dish worked. the monkeys sit there. No bananas, no rockets, no coordinates to get more bananas, just a dead body and a powerful sense of fairness as they all become infinitely poorer. Oh, and somewhere a smaller monkey watches the whole thing and quietly decides he will never build anything in front of these animals again. Damn, just miserable, miserable. This has 6 million views and 400,000 likes because there are a lot of jealous, covetous retards. All right, just understand, capitalism is better than socialism because one man gets to be a trillionaire instead of everyone having healthcare. Under socialism, the country dies, right? Look at all of Europe that tried to go down this infinite retard direction. They've been trying. Socialism is when the entire system collapses because it cannot sustain itself, because why the fuck would you ever work hard if everyone just gets equal shit and takes your stuff? Why does every single person that actually want decent healthcare come to America? All right, you don't understand. People in England are sending their shit, and Canada are sending their shit to America because, well, socialized healthcare is actually a fucking disaster. It really is. And virtually our healthcare is pretty much socialized too, unfortunately. We got a lot of cringe in our healthcare system. And the best part of all of it, you know it. You know it when you see like one of these tweets that just completely and utterly misrepresents every possible. You're like, all right, so this has to be like yeah, I stand with Palestine. It's every single time, man. It's all the time. Says the girl from South Asia. Says the girl from South Asia that pays for Twitter. Oh my god, dude, you can't make this shit up. It's unreal, right? So, bro, it's actually crazy, bro. All right, here we got a Muslim guy, Ayam Mukhtar. He's a trillionaire who spends every day on this app trying to start a race war and incite riots. Babe? Bro, I'm sorry. I am sorry, man. Are you trying to roast the guy, or are you trying to make me like him more? Base? That's huge. Oh, let's go. Trillionaire, he just sits on an app that he owns, by the way, so technically he's working. All right, trying to start a race war and incite riots. Holy shit, this guy's fucking incredible. And it all started from this. This one tweet cost California hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes, revenue, and jobs. Never fucking forget. But dude, the Hassan Piker baby rage crash outs over this is just next level cinema.
Hassan Piker calls Elon Musk okay, all right, we're gonna look at this here. Elon is a failure.
Meritocracy is a lie.
Meritocracy is a lie.
Lying is OP, and money is fake.
This is coming from Hassan Piker. Rapes didn't happen on October 7th, all right? Lying is OP.
Story that we are watching unfold in front of us is a great example of all three of those classic.
Look at like him trying to go on this like fucking intellectual diatribe holding his.
I love it. I love it so much. He's wearing the suit and he's holding his glass of wine.
Red wine. This is just so sad. He's
It's
really trying to play
dude.
the part.
Elon Musk is a fucking failure.
Elon is a
And
failure. Elon has failed.
In
He's
spite
failed.
of his failures,
This is what we call coping, by the way.
because he lucked into a, initial. Because he happened to be at the right place at the right
Puts the soundboard at the wrong
time. He has failed up.
I think that he just corrected himself from saying that Elon Musk was born into wealth because
he was born into wealth.
People could easily say, well, you were also born into wealth too. How does that work?
With his endless wealth. He's a horrible person.
He's horrible. He's a horrible,
unbelievably insecure person.
He's insecure. Wow.
We got Hassan Piker who's wearing a suit because, just understand, we have Hassan Piker who's wearing a suit because Shoe on Head made fun of his appearance. So now he wears a suit all the time, talking about how Elon Musk is actually insecure and horrible while he endorses terrorist organizations. Dude, it's absolute cinema. The real life Brian Griffin strikes again. Man, I love it's a whole day and every leftist fails the thou shalt not covet commandment. Like, holy shit, these are miserable worms. So the Knicks won yesterday, which apparently is cause to burn down the entire country, I suppose, if you are young and a leftist and of a certain ethnic background. Hassan Piker, of course, we have to talk about his crash out, obviously, because daily Hassan Piker crash outs on this channel. It's what we do.
Cast last night, did you guys know?
We are the filler arc of the legendary series.
Well, was inebriated. He came over here, and he beat my ass. And
it happens a lot to Hassan Piker, actually. Now, just understand, this is millionaire Hassan Piker, Nepo baby. It's a family of Turkish billionaires who made their fortune off of the Armenian genocide. And charging rent as landlords, complaining about paying $6,500 for a luxury seat at a luxury sporting event. And he didn't even get a shout out by the NBA as a celebrity appearance.
And he demanded that we go to
So
Madison
sad.
Square Garden, which we did.
So sad.
We had dumped a decent amount of money for these
What
seats
a
that
victim,
weren't
guys.
like technically nosebleed seats, but they weren't great either. It was like a weird
not even
angle.
great seats.
It's like a weird, you know, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a weird angle. Okay. Did you say hi to Taylor? Yeah, no, I did not. I didn't. I was not mentioned in the celebrities that were invited.
Yeah.
I was not mentioned in the celebrities that were invited to watch the game list either.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
It was a strange vantage point. Here, I'll show you. I think I took a photo of it, didn't I? Oh wait, we didn't post it. But I guess you can kind of tell from this angle. It's like behind one of the baskets, but like not exactly behind.
It's fucking retard scarf. Let's go.
But just like not in the center. This was our vantage point.
Yeah. So again, poor guy, poor bastard, poor dude, poor guy. Anyway, just understand exactly what was going on before the game. Here we have Zoran Mamdani releasing a message in Arabic, because that's exactly what the mayor of New York should be doing. Totally not a sign that we're being conquered or anything. To the soccer fans, want to watch the matches, New York, blah, 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 please give yourselves enough time to get to the matches. And he releases this beautiful memory TV style meme template in Arabic, because that is what the mayor of New York City should be doing. You know, that's what I'm saying, all right? Sneeko, of course, of the third world is because essentially New York is just becoming the third worldification of New York is fucking heartbreaking. All right, again, just understand this is coming from a guy who lived in New York for a couple of years, and understand that since COVID, New York has been an absolute shithole. All right, now the third worldification continues. Sneeko holds up the Moroccan flag with a group of Moroccan Muslim fans at a Morocco's World Cup match against Brazil.
Morocco, man. Man. I always hated Brazil. I always hated Brazil.
You want the flag for a bit?
Yes, let's put it up, man.
Put it up.
Let's show the stream. We're live right now. Boom.
Oh, is that Sneeko?
You know,
is he wearing a pentagram?
I was born in Fez.
Actually,
yeah,
oh,
Walla, bro.
Yo!
Yeah, Walla.
Oh, look, he's putting on a pentagram.
Let's go. I love Casablanca, man. You guys are crazy out there. Tu parles français? Pas français?
No. What about Darija? Anything or no?
No.
Stop saying too much.
I think you guys speak French.
No.
We're not. Yeah, understand what New York is becoming, by the way. All right, so this is our based right-wing streamer.
Boom, bismillah. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Come on, New York, Islamic Republic. Peace, bro.
New York is Islamic Republic, man. He's probably saying that in the cool, hip way, right? So this is Sneeko saying he's a jihadist, literally on camera.
I don't care what anybody says about like, oh, he likes jihad. Jihad is the fight, is the struggle for what's good.
No, jihad is terrorism, actually. Jihad is terrorism. It's a holy war against the infidels, which is anyone that's not a Muslim.
Yes, the internal struggle. Jihad is smiling.
Jihad is smiling and also blowing up Jews. Let's go!
Is praying. I'm a jihadist.
All right, so he is a jihadist. Bro, we need to deport these people. Like, bro, what the fuck are we doing? This is crazy. So anyway, so yes, so Sneeko is a jihadist, self-proclaimed, very good, love that. And this is the Islamification of New York. All right, so here we got a couple of Jewish celebrities like Ben Stiller and Timothy Chalamet or whatever, and then we got the most miserable greaseballs just be like the Zionists. The Zionists. All right, so here we got Palestine flag, the fucking Zionists.
Look at these fucking Zio-dorks.
Look at them out there, those Zion. This is just be like, Jews in New York. And it's like, I guess the line is moved to it's not okay for the Jews to be in Israel or New York. Man, I'm really glad people are starting to pick up on exactly what the Palestine movement actually is. They hate Jews, they hate Christians, they hate the Western civilization, they view Israel as an extension of the West, they hate America, and that is exactly what the Palestine movement always has been. It's not like Palestine has ever not been quote-unquote occupied ever in the history of Palestinians. But these retards, they need to keep starting wars and losing. But no, he was just criticizing the state of Israel, obviously. But this is the third worldification of New York. All right, understand exactly what's going on. Now, NBA star James Harden was arrested, charged with carrying unlawful weapons. The reason why I wanted to show this to you is because I don't think it was socioeconomic conditions, man. I was a little racist, but I had to do it. Now, of course, Zohran Mamdani's new trans clinic will not provide care for trans people under 19. So obviously, a lot of the woke retards are like really upset about this. They're like, what? But we wanted to trans the kids. We literally wanted to castrate as many children as we can, and Zohran Mamdani's not going to let us do that? I can't believe it. Now, of course, we got people defending Zohran Mamdani. The only reason why he can't is because of federal law. It's not his fault. It's Trump. Based? Based? Let's go, Trump. Trump W? Holy shit, it's unreal. It's actually crazy watching this. So, of course, because this is the natural thing to do after your goy ball concludes, you gotta destroy your city, I guess. People are destroying the NYPD vehicles in New York City, and Zohran Mamdani has nothing to say. Now, remember, Zohran Mamdani was criticizing the protests in England against migration because it's racist, all right? But he's not saying anything about the fact that they're literally destroying New York City? What the fuck is this? Look at these youths of nebulous ethnic backgrounds. Yeah, no, that shit! Yeah! Interesting. Interesting. Yes. Socioeconomic factors playing a big role in this one. And you hear some random youth in the background of nebulous ethnic background screaming, "What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do?" So brave. You know, and then they're gonna arrest this guy. They won't. I'm joking. But in a perfect world, they would arrest this guy, and then all the other people would chip the fuck out. He's just a baby. He just baby. Many such cases. Yeah, many such cases. Breaking, rioters have began setting school buses on fire in Times Square during Knicks riots. All right, this is not in the media. Police aren't doing anything. Mamdani failed New York, obviously. But here's the real kicker. You ready for the real kicker? These riots are worse. Not even exaggerating and not hyperbolizing. These riots are worse and more violent and more destructive than the riots in England against migrants. Yet every news channel, every media channel has been covering the riots in the United Kingdom against migration because the guy was beheaded in public, by the way. They're all covering that. It's the only thing everyone's talking about. They're race riots. They're dangerous. It's far right. It's fascism. They lit something on fire. And here you have objectively bigger riots, more property damage taking place, and no one has anything to say about it at all because it's just youths doing what youths do. It's just a couple of hooligans from the hood having it's just what they do. It's just their culture, okay? It's their culture, and all cultures are equal, actually. So why should we have anything to say? Yeah, breaking, rioters are completely destroying more school buses in Times Square. Apparently, this is just a completely normal thing to do, I guess, and there's no reason to criticize it. That's right, this will not be in the news. This is not covered by any mainstream media. If not for Twitter, we wouldn't even know it exists. It's just people destroying shit. And then they want to tax the rich. Right? Do you understand? And then they're like, oh, we have to tax white people and Jews more because that's the rich. The rich, according to Zohran Mamdani's third worldification process, is Jews and whites. All right, so we need to tax Jews and whites more so that we could pay for school buses, because this is paid by the tax dollars, that we will not arrest people for destroying. Do you understand why I am actually happy that Elon Musk is a trillionaire and not that the government has more money? All right, because what is the government going to do with that money? Are they going to pay for more school buses that are going to get destroyed that they're not going to do anything about? I'm sorry, man. I'm tired of living like this. This is jungle shit. These people are chimping the fuck out, and for some reason we're doing nothing about it. World Cup tourists in New York City.
Christ! Why the fuck did you bring me down here?
And for some reason, this is just normal. Now, there is a silver lining here. Silver lining. Nina Lynn, most obnoxious streamer of all time. I've covered her like once or twice in the past because she's just insufferable. Got arrested in New York City for riding on top of an Amazon delivery vehicle.
Nina! What's up? Yo! It's a bomb! Yo, it's dummy lit! Oh! We on top of a fucking Amazon car. Stop playing. We on an Amazon car.
Like, actually insufferable people.
Yo, he's right here.
And she got arrested. so anyway, you know, there's silver linings, I suppose. Now, here we have Ahmed Zaid from Egypt. That's how you know it's going to be good. All right. How can a country host the World Cup when both of its officials are linked to the biggest sex crime in history, Epstein? Right, yes, yes. What about Epstein? Epstein, what about Epstein? Sorry, apparently that guy's from Yemen, not from Egypt. Get a load of this one. Approximately 3.8 million girls and women in Yemen are married before the age of 18. Epstein civilization over there, man. Epstein civilization that y'all have. And you all just cry and bitch and whine because Rubio is preventing people from terrorist countries to enter our nation. Now, you might think it's racist for me to say that, but I don't care what your opinion is. It really means very little to me. Yes, I actually think we should not be allowing any people, even on visas as tourists, into our country if they're coming from the fucking shithole. Sorry, I don't want to take that chance, actually. Fuck you guys. You suck. You just suck, Ahmed. So anyway, this is a city council meeting in Hamtramck, Minnesota. All right, so I'm just showing this to you to explain to you exactly what the third worldification of our country is supposed to look like according to the Zoran Mamdanis of the world, according to the Ilhan Omars and the retards on the left that wants to turn our country into this. All right, understand. This
I can do the same thing every council meeting. You can. I can, and I can make the decision. You can do everyone. Yeah, I'm making. I don't know. No. I don't know. This is the way the fact is.
The question here is, who brought this resolution? The original one.
Very good. Original Salman brought it. Salman brought it. No.
You can back them here. This is a city council meeting.
Question is there.
He's not outside.
No. He's kidding.
Oh my God, are you racist and only saying this because of the color of your skin? No, I'm saying this because these are third worlders. I'm saying this because I don't like the third worldification of my country. A country is its people, and they have replaced our people with these fucking creatures, okay? What do you want from me? Again, nothing personal about any of these guys. It's the government's fault that they're in our country. It's not their fault. They're like, oh my God, America's the best country in the world. We should totally move here and turn it into fucking Islamabad too. All right? Do you blame them? No, I don't even blame them. I blame the people that brought them here and gave them the ability to have positions of power that set up and designed entire infrastructure so that we can have enclaves of retard communities to elect our retard leaders.
He's speaking right now. I am speaking! Excuse me! I have done enough from your...
This looks like the fucking dictator from fucking Kazakhstan. We will have nuclear weapons for peaceful purposes only.
Your behavior is very bad. Okay?
Your behavior bad.
Very bad. Because you are very disrespectful man.
Speak for 30
No, excuse me, you cannot. Sir. I'm speaking.
City council meeting.
Anybody in the board is speaking. This is you are my father to censor like outside business. Are you my parent?
Mohammed Hassan, how dare you censor me? You're not my father. It's unreal that this is America. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's unreal that this is America. Because ultimately, a country is its people. People are their culture. Their culture is downstream from their religion. I'm not trying to, nitpick here or anything, but this is just facts. So if you import gigantic bodies of humans from shitholes that are shitholes because of the people there that made them shitholes, all right? Or, rather, never made them not shitholes, all right? Of course, we're gonna continue the third worldification of America. You think America just has magic soil? You're gonna introduce 4 bajillion Mohammed Hassans into America, and all of a sudden it's gonna become a paradise full of Mohammed Hassans? It won't. All right, 4 of the 6 members of City Council are under investigations for election fraud too. All right, as like an added bonus, aside, they're all straight white Christian males, obviously, as you can see from these images. All right, so aside from like the obvious fucking monkey business going on in the government, we also have to deal with this. It's unreal. Now, everyone's screaming about how Trump's UFC arena is defiling the White House. All right, Trump is doing fighting matches in the White House for the 250th anniversary of our nation. That's so mad. It's so bad and mean of him. It's so mean and bad. He's defiling the White House. Like these people give a flying fuck. All right. Never forget what happened in 2020. All right. Never forget the fact that this happened. And we didn't elect the most far-right president of all time to put these savages in cuffs is unreal to me. I think we have video footage of these people. Every single one of them needs to go to jail. All right? This is unreal. This is insane. It really is. It's borderline terrorism, actually. And then they bitch about us. Oh, you have a White House UFC event? Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't care about our country at all. Obviously, you've made that clear. Leftism is just anti-Westernism. It's low IQ anti-Westernism, you know, and it has a bow on it where it makes believe it's about socialized healthcare, which it's not. It never has been. This is a public school in St. Paul, Minnesota. Every girl in a hijab in kindergarten. You know what that means, by the way. All right, these are the people that are breeding in America, while infinite antinatalist propaganda is getting shoveled down every single person's throat in every single show and movie and Hollywood production, and telling women that you have to get careers and you have to be girl bosses, and before you get married, you should be at least 35 before even thinking about getting married. You should abort your babies and you should castrate your children, and everyone's gay and everyone's trans and shit like that. And the only people breeding are these guys, the Somali community. They have 7 children each. All right, and then it's like, wow, the third worldification of America, huh? But this is the plan. It always has been the plan. You know, as Sneeko so aptly put it, New York Islamic Republic, because that's the goal. Obviously, that's the goal. Now, these are Islamic scholars in the U.S. revealing their plan, and they're not even afraid to do it because they'll just call you Islamophobic if you repeat their words.
America, okay, if we don't want them to implement secularism, so what do we want them to implement? They say that America now, okay, there is not enough Muslims for them and to implement Islam, but now it is our challenge as du'at, as intellectuals, as academic, to present solutions based on Islamic values, but in the second level degree, not to tell them replace secularism with Islam. It won't work. Yeah, presenting Islam as a civilizational
they have to make believe that they're not back savages.
Alternative. This needs from us a different way of addressing.
Interesting. So a strategy to lie to people.
In fact, the whole world.
Wow.
Trying to get into key positions where you are influencing the decisions, yani decision making. If we are, whatever we do, and we are not influentials, we cannot influence the how politics is running. We are not influence the decision-making processes.
We know that if we were to do this from...
Isn't it interesting that their goal is just to gain political power first and implement it little by little through America until eventually they get complete and utter compliance? But I'm called Islamophobic if I mention that this is exactly what's happening.
0 to 100, the people are going to say, we're not going to have this type. Look Afghanistan, look other places. And people understand they're not going to go from 0 to 100 overnight. Suppose a Muslim party, an Islamic party, comes in and they start changing. You know what? We want to make sure there's no alcohol being sold. So can we, for the time being, because here's the point, any type of stuff we do, it's not astaghfirullah to substitute the Sharia. No, it's a program to eventually apply.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that they say it out loud, even though I'm Islamophobic for repeating it. But ultimately, there is one man fighting against the Islamification and, well, mostly the third worldification of our country, especially LA, and that is Spencer Pratt. So Spencer Pratt was recently cheated out of his election. So essentially the way the LA elections works, the top 2 people that actually engage in the mayoral election proceed to have a runoff, 1v1. And Spencer Pratt won 2nd place, and then they cheated. And then they brought in so many ballots of late votes from retards, and all of them voted for, get a load of this one, the 3rd place candidate, knocking him out of the top 2. Now, I'm curious to see if the Trump administration does something. I'm disappointed that they didn't yet, because it's absolutely insane. But Spencer Pratt dropped the nuke. And this might be one of the greatest political ads I've ever seen in my lifetime. This has 10 million views already, by the way.
Now that the campaign portion of my mission to save Los Angeles is coming to a close, and I'm moving on to the next, more interesting phase, listen, I've spent a lot of time slaying everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take the chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. You think you can get rid of me that easily? I know A lot of dim-witted jerks thought I was in this for a grift, that I was gonna roll up and leave town if I didn't get into City Hall.
It's just not fair.
Hey, morons, I didn't get in this for political power. I got in this to expose this corrupt machine, and nothing has changed. You enjoy your worthless meetings in City Hall.
Nithya, you have all this information. You're running for mayor. Show what you're really about, or get the fuck out of the race.
I'm gonna be lighting you up every single day, and now I don't have to worry about offending CNN viewers. I don't have a campaign laws hamstringing me now. It's war. It's 0 hour for Los Angeles. Angelinos are now stuck with 2 morons responsible for all their problems, and they have to choose between dumb and dumber. That's not a choice. That's the machine protecting the machine, and now every problem...
That's right. He's so right. They literally have a leftist and a far leftist going at each other after robbing the one conservative right-wing candidate from his election. I'm surprised. I thought he would make such a bigger stink out of this. But he's just like, no, you know what? You know what? Fine. Fine. You want to rig it? Oh!
The problem that plagues Los Angeles because of these 2 corrupt communists is going to accelerate, and the city will tumble headlong into the abyss. You have no idea how many major developers, hoteliers, business owners, entrepreneurs have been texting me saying they're packing up and leaving town. More of your favorite restaurants will be shuttering. That means less tax revenue. That means the city has to cut services, more potholes, less firefighters, less police patrols, more criminals, more drug addicts terrorizing your communities. And we haven't ended it. You have no idea how bad things are about to get for this city. Look at this place already. Weeds growing from every crack and crevice, graffiti over every square inch of public space, garbage, drugs, feces, burned up dogs, burned down towns.
Yeah, they were lighting dogs on fire, by the way. That was not a joke. Actually, that was actually real, actually, believe it or not. Oh boy.
This city is a mess, and you're about to reward the arsonist who torched a place with 4 more years of destruction?
I know he's very bitter.
My goal hasn't changed. I've been laser focused on stopping these commie animals, and I will stop them. If you think we uncovered a lot of fraud and evil in the campaign, just wait. We have some recordings of one of your exalted candidates doing and saying something that would make her resign in shame. I was saving it for the general election. Go ahead and pick your demon, certify your choice, and then you get to see it. So Karen, Nithya, ask yourself, is it possible that one of your employees may have a recording of you doing or saying something that would force you to resign in disgrace?
Oh my God, bro's holding on to the nuclear option. He's like, you know what, we're just gonna get there.
Hope you sleep well at night over the next 5 months, because you know who hasn't slept well at all for the last 17 months? My mom. All my neighbors in the Palisades. All the moms who worry about their kids walking past drug addicts in front of their schools. All the business owners getting crushed in the LA economy, worried that they can't stay in business and feed their kids. Angelinos have been struggling for years now, all while corrupt politicians and fraudulent NGOs profit off the misery and fleece us for the tax dollars.
Right.
Well, now we're flipping the script. I want all of you awake at night sweating and worried about 5 a.m. when the FBI blazers bust in the door, breaking open your office, because I assure you, they're coming. You think your election...
The FBI is coming. You think losing an election matters to me? Oh, it's all part of the plan.
...was gonna stop me? If you want to stop me...
You're gonna have to fucking kill me!
Oh, that is the political I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't even live in LA, but I'm ready for war. I am rooting for this guy. Oh my God, we have to stop the third worldification of our country. Because, like, if we don't, we'd end up like, England. God help us. Now, of course, there was another horrific incident in the UK, because it's almost like when you open the doors to animals, all of a sudden, all sorts of animalistic behavior takes place. Outrage erupts after a 17-year-old girl was stabbed in broad daylight in England. Animals emboldened. 17-year-old is being treated in the hospital for major wounds to her neck. The animal, again, this is not coming from a racist place. This is what I call someone who stabs a random girl. Is suspected of attempted murder. Of course, still is only suspect, and we don't know, obviously, of course. And you know what? I have to say kudos to the British government. They've discovered the source of the problem. No, it's not actually the infinite barbarians with low IQs being imported from savage shitholes. Totally not. It has nothing to do with any of that. Obviously, Tommy Robinson is the problem, and he was just arrested. Tommy Robinson detained at Heathrow Airport under the Terrorism Act. His electronic devices has been seized. You know, there may have been a savage, barbaric monkey that stabbed an innocent girl in the street, but Tommy Robinson has made some tweets on Twitter, and that's obviously worse. In fact, the British government decided, yo, I know how we can stop the stabbings. Well, not the stabbings, but we can stop people from knowing about the stabbings. Keir Starmer will introduce nightly social media curfews for 16 and 17-year-olds as part of the government's social media ban. So understand what he wants. So originally he wanted a social media ban for anyone under 16. Now this ban will apply to TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, X, YouTube, Snapchat, Reddit, Twitch, and Kick. For the record, I think that in general this is good parenting advice not to let your kids on some of these like actual like mind virus websites. Don't get me wrong, but that should be up to the parents, not the government, obviously. Now, of course, the government wants to ban under 16s from these places because these are the places where you can actually learn about politics. So understand what Keir Starmer wants, because he already introduced legislation for this. He wants 16-year-olds to be able to vote. So understand, he wants 16-year-olds to vote, but not be able to actually get any information other than the mainstream until they're over 16. Now, even when they are over 16, also there will be social media curfews for 16 and 17-year-olds, limitations on what they could possibly do. Do you want them to get a narrative that might be true, actually, instead of the narrative that was handcrafted by communist, gobbledygook-loving, Islamified retards? I sure hope not, because you know the only thing worse than beheading innocent people on the streets? People knowing about people getting beheaded on the streets. That's even more dangerous, actually. Now, get ready for the truth nuke. Blue Sky, the social media account owned and run by complete libtards, will not be included in the under 16 social media ban. Dude, this is absolute cinema. Absolute cinema. That's right. Blue Sky, for those of you that are unaware, is the alternate social media website that was created when Elon Musk bought Twitter, where all the leftists could go. They were like, Twitter is owned by Elon now. And Elon made a Nazi salute, so therefore we're all gonna leave. And then they all migrated to Blue Sky like fucking monkeys. And now Blue Sky is a radical, violent, left-wing shithole that's all like celebrates the assassination of Charlie Kirk and stuff like that. So understand, Blue Sky will be the only social media that's not banned for under 16-year-olds. Why would that happen? Well, obviously, so this under 16-year-olds can go to Blue Sky and become radical leftists. Literally, there is no other reason. This is just the mind rape of a generation. So at 16, you can vote, join the army, play the lottery, have sex, drive, all right? However, you can't go to Facebook in the evening. Understand exactly what we're dealing with in England. They want to rape the civilization, and they will use any underhanded method possible. Rupert Lowe says, banning teenagers from social media with ludicrous conditions is unworkable, unrealistic, and unwanted. All right, here's a mad idea. Let the parents parent. Not the state, the mums, the dad, the grandparents, whoever else. Restore Britain will always trust the family over big government. It's like everything he says is right. Holy shit, this is insane. But now a little more details on the actual stabbing that took place. And then after that, all right, great news. The migrants are leaving. They're like, oh my God, they're so racist. We should leave. And everyone's like, yes. Yeah, please do. That's crazy. Please leave, actually.
What? Girl stabbed in the throat by a UK migrant happened today? What? Stabbed in the neck in daylight. So arresting a 30...
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I don't know if you caught that. I don't know if you caught that.
What? Stabbed...
Tommy Robinson talked about it. Therefore, we have to arrest Tommy Robinson.
In the neck in daylight. So arresting a 30-year-old man on suspicion of attempted murder shortly after the assault. Officers detain the shirtless suspect near a police vehicle. Authorities are increasing patrol. This shit just happened. There he is. Damn.
That's a straight white Christian if I've ever seen one.
What a surprise.
And you just know bro is from I don't give a fuckistan, and for some reason he was welcomed into England with open arms.
Nice. And this was literally an hour ago. This was today. You can check.
And I'm supposed to make believe these people aren't barbarians. Like, these people aren't savages. Like, this shit shouldn't be happening every day, right?
The Reddit comments where they ban everyone? Oh, no. Yikes. The footage has gone a tad viral on X. It's brutal, the poor girl. And yes, the suspect is someone who could set off more riots if the girl had died.
Oh, my God, dude. I mean, yeah. Sure, it would be pretty awkward if ISIS set off a nuclear bomb and killed 50 million New Yorkers, but think about the backlash on peaceful Muslims.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it makes a difference. That's a short article. I can guess who the attacker might be. And you're right. This kind of violence seems to be happening every day now. And
you want to know the real shocker? It's been happening every day for a long time. It just broke containment.
What's funny is that it's been happening every day for probably 10 years.
That's
the reason why you're hearing about it now, imagine like there's an entire sewage system. Nobody is letting any of it out because, oh my God, if it gets out, then people will realize how much this whole place smells like shit. But then Elon Musk went and he opened the pipe and he let people on Twitter express what they really think. Imagine this fucking barbarian is running after you with a knife and he's stabbing you and trying.
And And he's just doing it because, I don't know, you're either a white girl or because he's just fucking retarded, he's 67 IQ, he's chipping out, whatever fucking reason. His ideology is alien to yours. Your culture is alien to his. He would take your oak front door and use it as firewood. Your culture and your world mean nothing to this barbarian.
Trying to cut your throat open. Knives are banned in the UK, by the way. Well,
oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. They banned knives, so this isn't happening.
How did they have a knife if it was banned? Well, then how do people have knives? Guys, it's the same thing with the ninja swords. You don't need to get rid of the ninja swords.
Get rid of the ninjas.
You need to get rid of the ninjas. It's the people using them. There is apparent footage circulating of this, and I urge you not to... Don't watch it, don't watch it.
Because if you look at it, you might get angry at a guy from Egypt named Muhammad, and that would obviously be bad for so many Egyptians named Muhammad.
Shit. Similarly, there are photos of the alleged attacker. Don't look at the you don't want to look at. Oh my god.
Alleged attacker.
God, what is wrong with these people? Some girls fighting for her life in the UK state says be careful what you watch and share. You only care about censoring what's happening in the country. People are realizing this and it's not normal. Here's the official government demographic data from the area the stabbing is reported to have taken place. The north of Burnley has been completely colonized. 84% of people are Asian, Asian British, or Asian Welsh.
Asian means Pakistani, by the way. I'm happy to help. It's not Chinese people with machetes chasing you down the streets, okay? It's not those Koreans. No, sir. No, sir.
4%? In Pakistani? Yes, obviously. I mean,
yeah, Asian means Pakistani.
This guy's not from Japan. I don't think I've seen a single one of these people that have been going on these knife rampages that are from Japan. I haven't seen a single one from Korea either. I don't think I've seen one from China. They're intentionally not making a distinction. I also think that
they bury the news, they bury the article, they bury the statistics. All right, it's just lies on top of lies on top of lies. And that's why they hate Elon Musk, and that's why they want social media bans, because how do you control the people when the people learn the truth?
This problem will be solved. The people in Europe have the option to solve this problem.
It'll be solved.
With somebody moderate or with somebody else.
Right? You have to do the Trump doctrine. It'll either get solved through unconditional surrender, a.k.a. via politics, or it'll get solved through bombing the shit out of them, a.k.a. the other option. And that's how it's going to happen, regardless. All right, these people descended from crusaders. They are not going to sit there and take this shit on the ass. All right? Nah, dude.
The next person after that isn't going to be asking for deportation. There's no world that we can live in where there are random barbarians.
Well, yeah, there is. There is a world we can live in. It's in Africa. It's just not in Western civilization.
Shirtless barbarians with knives running around trying to stab and cut the throats. This is not sustainable. We all know this isn't sustainable. Everybody knows this, but for some reason, people don't want to talk about it.
For some reason, I can't possibly think why. Well, the good news is, all right, so this is Jake Monroe. He recently had a guy almost beheaded around the corner from his house. So he has some good news that they're actually leaving.
There's a reason why I am legally obliged not to.
Yeah, well, no, obviously, legally, you can't say any of these things or you go to jail for words, all right? It's almost it's worse than stabbing people in the neck, I would say. Really glad we understand the hierarchy of severity for crime.
Incite violence, not to try and encourage more people to partake in violence, because, quite frankly, violence, historically speaking, is incredibly effective. There have been many immigrants who have decided to re-migrate themselves, and the violence...
Let's go! Look, I'm not British, so I'm allowed to say this. Let's go! Listen, man, I'm just saying, historically, violence works.
To be the only thing that actually worked. Now, this is a very dangerous precedent that has been set, isn't it?
Yeah, I love how Keir Starmer's like, the best way to solve stabbings and beheadings in public is to ban people from social media and give more money to migrants because of socioeconomic conditions. The poor Sudanese Fiddle are Sudanese intellectuals are stabbing people and it's bad.
Oh dear. You've got 20 years of people saying remigration. You've got the last 5 years of people saying remigration just a little bit louder. And then in 3 days, we managed to motivate foreigners themselves to off. That sets a very dangerous precedent, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. What an example to set. That really is.
I mean, let's be real here. The places where these people came from, they weren't giving a flying fuck about democracy. Right? You think in Sudan, they give a even minute, little, tiny, itty-bitty shit about the opinions of Western culture, about what the Christians think about it? don't give a flying fuck. You scalp them and then they leave. I'm not endorsing any. I just want to make this clear. I'm not endorsing any violence. I'm just saying that in Sudan, where there was literally just a genocide perpetrated from one Muslim group onto another Muslim group, to the point that they stained the ground red with the blood of the victims because they were in the wrong denomination of Muslim. I don't actually think strongly worded letters matters to these people. All right? It's action that matters to these people.
Is quite an interesting example to set for the rest of the world. And do you know what? I feel vindicated. I really do. Because I said this was going to happen. I said this was going to happen, and I said this was going to happen in regards to a civil war, and it was going to be related to immigration, and it was most likely going to be related to stupid law. Now, a lot of people have said, well, white people are the minority in some cities. Listen, white people aren't like the people, okay? White people aren't like Africans. White people are an entirely different class of their own, okay? You piss off white people to the point where they start to push back, get a helmet. Run as fast as you can.
Yeah, that's crusade time. It really is. Because it's not about, like, it's not about the little, again, and ultimately, this is just due to culture. It's the fact that Western civilization and Western culture, this is going to be controversial, it's better. It's actually just better than wherever the fuck you came from, in Sudan or whatever. So yes, you're not going to have disorganized savagery on the street, stabbing people in the neck and shit, but you will have absolute organized conquest. Historically, white people have been very good at that.
In fact, it doesn't even matter. They'll catch you. They'll catch you, and they'll do the most unspeakable things to you. And then they'll find where you were trying to run back to, and make sure that there's nothing left there. But this is an incredible response. I mean, look, let me find the attitude here from a couple of migrants in Belfast in response to the situation that's been going on here. There were two, I think, Ugandan immigrants. Rwanda. Let's watch this video together, and let's see if we can pick up on the same things.
What? 3 things.
I am scared. Ugandan student nurse forced to flee Belfast home after violent protest.
No! And the only thing
to be fair, it was mostly peaceful protest.
Did not get from the house were the letters my children wrote for me. Because that is all I have from my...
Anyway, this is really sad for you, and it was all ruined because a couple of y'all decided to stab people and shit. You know, I'm just pointing it out that the reason why she's crying is not because white people don't like getting stabbed. It's mostly because of the stabbers.
Children, the letters that they wrote for me 3 years back when I was leaving them back home.
That
I think that is the only thing I didn't get. I only got my passport, my laptop, and my uniform because I have to go to work.
Can I really be able to stay here? Will I be safe because of what happened and the whole experience? So just know I'm scared.
Absolutely nothing about the deaf guy that got his face gouged off by a Sudanese prick.
It's almost like they don't fucking care.
Absolutely.
It's almost like they really don't care at all, actually. Look, I've been saying this for a really, really long time. Like, you saw with the Carmelo Anthony shit. Dude stabs a white guy in the heart, and then you get all the black activists screaming and crying and chipping out. No, he was just a baby. Why would you put him in jail for just murdering a white guy? Because they don't care about this shit at all. It's like you see the entire Somali community in Minnesota. You know, they talk about how, like, how ICE is going into the port illegal space, by the way. They should do it a lot more. And then all of them were like, oh, neighbors, I can't believe this is happening to our neighbors and communities. I can't believe the level of stress that we are undergoing right now because people are white supremacists. Maybe people invaded illegally and there's billions of dollars of fraud. Why don't we talk about that, maybe? Maybe that's contributing, maybe a little bit. No, they don't even want to talk about it. It's just racism.
Absolutely nothing. Not a word. I don't feel safe here now. I want to go home. Wow, look at that. Look at that. A little bit of heat on the ground and they get to go home. Listen, whenever they come here and they start...
I love how they consider home Rwanda. Well, they don't consider home North Belfast, Ireland. They consider home Rwanda. All right, just understand exactly what's being stated. Pretty interesting choice of words, I would say.
Slicing us up into pieces. We can't leave. We can't go home. There's nowhere for us to go.
You don't understand. You don't understand how it works. White people are on stolen land, and all the land actually belongs to brown people. That's how it works, man. Everyone is indigenous to everywhere except for white people who are indigenous to nowhere. I hope you understand how it works. Now, a lot of people are going to call me out for this one. But like every time I hear some guy being like, you know, obviously, Palestine is for the Palestinians, ethno-nationalism. It's like, all right, bro. So, Israel for the Jews, England for the English, America for the Americans? Like, does that apply at all? No, of course not. Obviously, colonialism bad. See, I'm a very consistent guy in general. I actually think England is for the English. And yeah, I do think Israel is for the Jews. And yeah, I think America is for the Americans. I'm a fucking Nationalist, actually, for sure. Absolutely. Now, not to say that there can't be anyone from any other ethnicity or anything in any of these countries, obviously. But yeah, I do think demographically, every country should be focused on making sure that the prime demographics of your country are represented by the culture of your country. Duh! It makes the country strongest, for sure. And when there is immigration, it should be specifically people that share your value systems and ideally share your culture as much as possible. And this is why I absolutely despise left-wing politics. It's all incoherent, bro. You will have like a left-wing Islamist guy being like Palestine is for the Palestinians, but England is not for the English. And you'll have a left-wing Jew saying that Israel is for the Jews, but England is not for the English. And in my mind, I'm just hearing the left-wing babble infinitely in my ear. Actually, the country belongs to the people that possess it, because conquest is how land has transferred ownership throughout all of human history, and those people own the land, and they have the ability to make sure that the land remains exactly demographically the way they want it. They have the right to enforce their borders, and they have the right to enforce immigration policies. They have the right to enforce ethnic and cultural demographics, because it's their country, and that goes for every country on the planet consistently. No country inherently owes infinite bullshit to retards. Oh, England has to take people from Sudan because there's a genocide. No, actually, that's Sudan's problem. That's not England's problem. Oh, America has to take Somalis because... No, actually, America does not. We don't have to take a single fucking Somali. Yes, they live in a shithole, and that is their problem.
We have to stay here and put up with it. What the f*** do you think people were gonna do? She's dealing with violence. She's scared for her life, I guess. And she's like, I need to go home. I can no longer stay here. Oh, well, that's good. That's great for you. That's great for you, love. We can't. We have to sit here and watch all of you come in here and increasingly make it more shit. And where the go? Nowhere. Also, the letters from your children that you left to come here, you can go home. You burn the letters up, but you can just go home to your kids. Get the like. Not a single word about the safety of white people, about this guy that was attacked.
It's almost like they don't care at all, and they just view you as the objective moral evil, and they don't care. It's all, you do not even enter their moral framework.
About, I can see why they are doing this, because in Uganda, if white men show up to my country and he slice a deaf African man's face, we would burn him. Is what she would, right? That's what she'd say. That's what she should be saying. I understand the violence. In Rwanda, if Northern Irish man come to Rwanda and slice African man face, we will beat him and we will kill him. But we're not allowed to riot.
And then they'll probably eat him too.
We're not allowed to show you with enthusiasm how much we don't want you here. In Wakanda, if white man show the double standards are incredible. Not a word said. She grabbed her laptop and nurse outfit so she could keep working, but not her kids' letters, the thing that she's most sad about losing. Because it was the only thing that wasn't provided to her by taxpayer money. So yeah, these two black nurses won't talk about the fact that if a white man did that in Uganda, they'd probably act even worse. They'd have their very own justice, where they'd find the guy, they'd find the white man, and they'd rip him up like pepper. We would find the white man, and we'd rip him up like pepper. Like that. I don't know why every African...
I mean, to be fair, you're making Uganda sound kind of based. I would like to rip up the guy that murdered this innocent guy on the street, personally. I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of Old Testament justice. A man takes a life, you take his life in return. And you know what? Also, I firmly believe the court system is horseshit. You get this guy on camera unequivocally murdering a guy, just execute him today. I don't even think that the execution... I think it's inhumane to put off the execution, where he has to sit there trembling knowing that his day is coming. I think that shit sucks. I am a humanitarian. I don't want to stress him out or anything. No, it makes the meat a lot more tense, okay? Listen, I do not want to stress them out. I think dude murders a guy. If there's undeniable evidence about it, you execute them, same day execution. I think it's the most humane way to go.
African is a tribesman from Ace Ventura, Nature Calls. Yeah, not a word said about the attack. Not a word said about how they'd probably be doing the exact same thing in their own country. Just, I lost some letters and now I have to go home. Oh, well, if you have to go, would you like some cake for the no more taxpayer money? No cake for you. You can actually just f off. So funny. So funny how they just seem to only care about themselves. Let's see, where was this here?
Weird, huh? It's almost like how tribes only care about their own tribe and they don't care about another tribe. It's so weird how they're acting in England, exactly like they would act in fucking Rwanda, where they came from. It's almost like they didn't actually assimilate to Western culture, become Westernized, just because they're on magic soil. Weird, huh? Weird.
Whoa! I don't know why we're running. People just started sprinting. There must be at least two. Bloody hell, what's going on? Oh. People are running. I don't know what's happening. People are just running. This guy's in camo.
Apparently this is the Irish hunting for migrant infested housing. By the way, this is what remigration was going to look like. This whole like, well, all we have to do is just make a hostile environment for them and they would leave, right? You know, like rejecting any and all of their customs being allowed into the country, blah, 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 blah. They were going to be in the streets. They were going to refuse to leave. In fact, it was going to look something like this video. This is a shit ton of armed foreigners walking through the center of the city. I don't know what city this is or when this was, but point stands. This is what it's going to look like. This is what remigration is going to look like. They don't want to go, bruv. Nah, they don't want to go, bruv. They want to kill you. They don't want to go, bruv. Look at them. Can you hear what they're saying? Can you hear what they're saying? You should be able to... it should be very familiar, this word. Allahu Akbar is what they're saying. Allahu Akbar. It was always...
Look, all I know is when a Christian says Christ is king, I feel warm. I feel tingly. All right, when a Jew says Baruch Hashem, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Something nice must have happened. And then when I hear a guy from Sandland, Sand Country, the hidden sand village, being like, Allahu Akbar, I don't know. Maybe I was Islamophobic or something. Or maybe it's the fact that I have literally lost family members in Islamic terror attacks. Maybe that had something to do with it.
It's going to look like this, lads. You really think remigration was going to be anything but this? Absolutely what it's going to look like. Okay, we were going to tell them to fuck off. We were going to tell them no more benefits, no more synagogues, no more mosques, no more kosher, no more halal, no more Palestinian flags everywhere, no more asylum seekers, no more DEI giving you free jobs and shit. I've said this 1,000 times. They were never going to hear this, see this, and go, okay, well, I guess I'll just return back to Iraq, I guess. Back to Iraq, that rhymes. Okay, everyone, get in the Picasso, get in the Citroen. We're going back home. They were never going to do that. And we weren't going to be standing at the beach as they leave being like, thank you.
Obviously, it was going to involve storming the streets, and I get that, for sure.
Go, come again. They'll be like, oh, funny joke. You've made your point. Bye-bye. They weren't going to do that. Do you have any idea what it took for them to get here? The inhuman treatment and conditions they have to endure to get here, to get free shit? They're gonna go nuts. Do you know what no more mosques is? It's not building anymore. It's getting rid of the ones that are already here. How do you think that's going?
That's not gonna be easy. That's not gonna be easy at all.
Gonna do? They're watching their mosques get removed. Their places of worship, their calls to prayer. All of this shit's gone. They're gonna take this as the Muslim Brotherhood's gonna blow shit up. They're gonna go nuts. And on top of that, they're looking at all of their places of worship get destroyed, pulled down, replaced with a nice Tesco or a Eurospar or a Londis or a Tesco Ultra. That'd be great. And while that's happening, while they're watching their mosques get pulled down and replaced with a Primark, they're also losing their benefits, their free shit. Oh yeah, Muhammad Hussein Muhammad.
I mean, I think it's mostly the free shit. I mean, welfare states and infinite migration is inherent contradiction. It's inherently a contradictory position that it's like, you can all come here and also we'll give you free things. I just think losing the free things will make a lot of them leave. Or at least not come.
Yeah, you and your 8 children wiped out. That's it. No more money for you. You gotta get a job, Bella. Oh, you're too stupid.
That's the big one. That is the nuclear take. That needs to happen immediately. There should be zero welfare for migrants. If you're a migrant, you should be coming to make the country better. You should not be coming to be a leech. I just think that's obvious.
That sucks. Well, little Ahmed, he's quite mad about this. Oh yeah. He can't go out and pray anymore like it's Baghdad, and he doesn't get free money all the fucking time. Shit. He's faced with one possible option. Going back to Baghdad. Chat, do you want to go to Baghdad? You want to go there? No, neither does he. Unfortunately, he's from there. We're not. So he's going to have to go back. If we had a magic spell that returned everyone back to where they were originally from, he would go back there. He's going to go out there. He's going to go out into the streets. They're going to get their Shastars and their Kurpans and their Bing Bongs and their Kloopity Claws, and they're going to be out in the streets clanging their bling blings. And they're gonna be getting real mad. Every blade is curved. Every single one. Everything's curved. Curved blades. It'll be the Moors versus the English out there. Remigration was always gonna look like this. It's absolutely inevitable.
Everyone that thinks that it's just gonna be everyone will vote to get them out, and then they'll just be like, okay, we lost, we go now. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Dude, I just see the shit that's happening in England, and thank God Kamala Harris didn't win. Holy fuck, we would look exactly like that. And we have to talk about the Islamification of England, because this is insane, and this is a public discourse right now, and I am so happy it's happening. So Zach Polanski is the leader of the Green Party. That's the far-left Islamists and communists and gay people. It's a pretty good mix of people that hate Western civilization and biblical values. They all came together to basically destroy the West. It's pretty great. So he's the leader of the party. He said, these aren't protests, they're racist riots. This is talking about the protests across Scotland follow the Belfast knife attack. That was the attack where they almost beheaded a guy. The Sudanese dude almost beheaded a dude. All right, so these aren't protests, they're racist riots. It's time for the government to take them seriously. The PM should be convening Cobra and sitting on a real plan to end the horrific violence. No, they don't like getting beheaded. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. As a homosexual myself, I love getting pierced by large brown men. So it's homophobic and Islamophobic to protest with the migrants. Okay, so this is what he said 2 days ago. All right, this is him today. You have to understand exactly what's going on. All right, so this is incredible. Gut-wrenching to see 4 young people jailed for direct action against an arms supplier to Israel. Dude, all politics goes back to Israel. Pay attention. I don't know what happened to the left. They really feel like this is the actual Trump card. They just need to mind rape enough people to thinking that Israel is causing Sudanese people to behead people on the streets, and it's great. So gut-wrenching to see 4 young people jailed for direct action against an arms supplier to Israel. Years in prison for protesting to save lives in Gaza with terrorism used despite no jury convicting them of it. A truly dangerous attack on the right to protest. All right, so 2 days ago, bro was crashing out over people protesting against getting beheaded in the street. You know, it's a valid. I personally also would not love getting beheaded in the street, so I understand it. So homosexual retard Zach Polanski very, very upset that there were protests against beheadings, but he's super mad that innocent protesters that were just protesting against the genocide in Gaza were called terrorists. This is an attack on the right to protest. As you can see, this got 5.4 million views. This is a really big story. A lot of people are talking about this. Now I'm going to give you some context, and the context is, let's just say, absolutely cinema. So this is the peaceful protest against the pretendicide in Gaza that he is talking about. This is one of the 4 terrorists that is going to jail. He used a sledgehammer to break a female police officer's back. Like, you see the woman holding her hand up, pleading for her life, as this terrorist, leftist, Islamist, pro-Palestine, mostly peaceful protester took a sledgehammer and shattered her spine. All right, she is completely paralyzed right now. So this guy's like gut-wrenching. He smashed a policewoman's spine with a sledgehammer. Zach Polanski's on the side of the anti-Zionist domestic terrorists. All right, okay, cool. And now, Mehdi Hassan, everyone's favorite Islamist who makes believe that he's actually British and American. This guy has a British passport, an American passport, and a Pakistani passport. God knows how he scammed his way into all that shit. All right, so Mehdi Hassan says, "You are part of a government that murdered tens of thousands of people." No, actually, they were killed in war. It's not murder when it's in war. But anyway, whatever. And then you went on TV to justify those murders. Yeah, actually, killing terrorists is good, actually. And yeah, collateral damage is really sad in wars. I guess they shouldn't have started those wars. Anyway, I do find it funny that he decided to post that on the same day that Hamas is opening live fire on civilians and kidnapping Palestinians in Gaza as we speak. You can hear women and children screaming in the background of this video. I don't think I could actually play it because it's really graphic. All right, and of course, Mehdi Hassan, he doesn't mind, actually. Because, you see, here's the grift. They don't care about civilians getting killed in Gaza. They just want to use them to fuel their propaganda machine. So Hamas opening live fire on civilians and kidnapping Palestinians in Gaza, actually, that doesn't matter to them at all. So Mehdi Hassan, he doesn't give a shit about that. He just likes the idea that here we have terrorists smashing the spines of police officers, and he's really mad that they're going to jail for it. Actually, they just shouldn't be part of it. Right? Because this guy over here is part of a government that killed terrorists. And he's so mad about that, obviously. Now, the GOAT, Asmongold, responded, "What does that have to do with driving a car into a building and hitting police officers with a sledgehammer?" All right? Like, what? You're defending terrorists in England smashing police officers' spines because of a war that retards in Gaza started and they lost miserably? Holy fuck, what are we doing here? Right? Again, this guy should not be an American citizen. I think we gotta deport this guy immediately. Alright? Ultimately, people like Mehdi Hassan will always run a defense for groups that support and enable Islamic terrorism. Yup, it took some time to get there. We radicalized Asmongold, by the way. He wouldn't say this a year ago. We radicalized this man. I don't know if I'm not saying that I had anything to do with it. I don't want to take any credit. I don't deserve any of it. But I am just saying we have a lot of overlap in our audiences, and I am just saying we've made a lot of progress on Asmongold, right? You go back 1 year ago, and you would be seeing someone that was Not willing to say the quiet part out loud. And I'm so grateful. Asmongold is coming along very nicely. Very proud of this man. God, bro, what the goat. In a saner world, he states, all 4 of them would be executed. Now, I personally am against it. I think the murderer, or the attempted murderer, should be maybe executed. But I think the rest of them personally should be deported to Gaza. See, as I mentioned, I'm a humanitarian. I believe that a killer needs to die. And an attempted murderer, you have an argument to kill them because you could assume that they would try to kill again. So it's self-defense preemptively to execute them. But for the people that are just committing terrorism for the sake of Gaza, I think they should just be deported to Gaza. I don't know, put them on a flotilla or some shit. Don't don't let them back in. Damn, I feel like that's pretty bad. So as you can see, Asmongold's like, wait a second. You're endorsing terrorism on British soil because people started a war and lost in Gaza? Mehdi Hassan, of course, responds, this freak with 1.3 million followers wants to execute a group of young people who took direct action to prevent the genocide. They didn't prevent fucking shit. They just smashed a policewoman's spine with a sledgehammer and destroyed some British military shit. Drove a car into a building and vandalized a couple of British planes. 3 of whom were not prosecuted for any act of violence, just terrorism. He wants to execute them for criminal charges. The modern online fascist right, ladies and gents. Look at this man fucking sniveling in the first world country, crashing out on Asmongold, and his response is, yeah, yes, that is exactly what I want, and I will vote for anyone who will do it. Thanks for your understanding, based. All right, again, this is the freak with 2.1 million followers saying make American planes crash again. All right, just understand what we're dealing with. This is the same Mehdi Hassan, by the way. I played this clip before, so I'm not going to make you suffer through it again, of Mehdi Hassan stating that all non-Muslims are livestock and should be treated like livestock and pedophiles. Literally, this is him giving an entire speech on how non-Muslims are cattle and how Muslims are superior. He's done that multiple times. So yes, this is actually the correct take is they're terrorists and they should be treated as such. And I love how he's describing it because it's Islamic terrorism. And of course, Mehdi Hassan loves Islamic terrorism. Like, I keep getting told that he doesn't, but they're liars. He does. He's Mehdi Hassan, Cenk Uygur, Hassan Piker. They're all suspiciously Muslims, and they also love Islamic terror. It's so weird how that happens. It's so funny how it comes together. It's so weird, actually. It's a coincidence. I'm not trying to be Islamophobic here or anything and say that Muslims and Islamic terrorism have anything to do with each other. I'm just saying it's pretty funny how you flip a coin 3 times and it lands on heads every time. I'm just saying it's pretty funny. So again, dude is crashing out that terrorists are getting punished because they took direct action to prevent the genocide by committing terrorism on British soil. All right, just understand. Now, Mehdi Hassan, journalist, this is the same guy who's laughing constantly about how Britain is just being made better by the migrants.
You know,
you just said Britain's being destroyed.
No, but have you looked at the crime numbers, what's going on in UK?
Crime is very low.
Have you looked at
crime
what's going on?
Crime is very low, Patrick.
So what do you think about what happened to Henry Nowak?
Who's Henry Nowak?
He didn't even know who Henry Nowak is. The guy that was stabbed by the Sikh dude that was just handcuffed by the police and bled out on the sidewalk. He didn't even know who that was.
You don't know who Henry Nowak is?
Sorry, we were talking about free speech. You brought up stats about social media arrests.
Of course,
we have to be careful. Let's not. We know that demonizing minority communities. Look what happened to synagogues. And I would say the same thing about the Jewish community. We have to be careful about our criticism of Israel, so it doesn't lead to attacks on Jews.
Oh, we have to be very careful. Meanwhile, Jewish synagogues are lit on fire. Jewish ambulances are blown up. Jews are getting stabbed and shot in the streets of England. All right, just understand. We have to be very, very careful about our criticisms over here. Very, very, very careful. And again, if you want to actually look at the crime stats, Jews commit way less crime than migrants from Africa. In fact, Jews commit less crimes than average white people, actually. Their crime rates are around the same as the Chinese people, which is like the lowest crime rates in the country. So again, like, it is insane that you want to try to go down this route.
The one-word answers, please. All right.
Yeah, so again, in the same breath, he's like, all white people are violent. The poor Jews that are getting firebombed, that he advocates against firebombing Jews. What a guy. What a guy. He supports terrorists that are destroying police officers' spines because at least they're fighting for Gaza, all right? Or just understand. And of course, England is literally the safest place in the world, and he has no idea who Henry Nowak is. Absolute insanity watching this guy, all right? Just understand exactly what we're dealing with here. Now, Hassan Piker, interestingly enough, as we know, he was recently banned from England, and he had this whole crash out. Mehdi Hassan, of course, freaking out, free speech, like it's freedom of speech to open your borders to Islamic terror-supporting, animal-abusing retards from other countries. All right, not letting Hassan Piker into England has nothing to do with freedom of speech, but just understand. Now, I don't think Asmongold even saw this, because this was a while ago. I had this one in my back pocket for a while. Hassan Piker supported this terror attack as it happened. while there was this terror attack where they shattered this woman's spine, all right, Hassan Piker was there supporting it. Understand exactly what we're dealing with and why obviously he was banned from England.
This could soon be classed as a terror gathering. The group behind the protest,
This is Hassan watching Al Jazeera Qatari news, by the way.
Palestine Action, is set to be banned by the UK government and labelled a terrorist organisation. The decision follows this. 2 activists breaking into an Air Force base in central England, spraying red paint into military aircraft engines and damaging them with crowbars.
Yeah, so that's what we call terrorism, actually. Vandalizing your government's military is actually just terrorism.
The government says
he likes it because obviously he thinks that vandalizing some British planes is going to stop Palestinians from starting wars that they lose or something.
It's the latest.
No, I can't believe that.
God, I love how he just loves Islamic terrorism.
Can't believe that they did such a thing. I'm so mad. British aircraft supplying munitions to an ongoing genocide. That.
Oh no, there's a pretendicide! Quick! Commit acts of Islamic terrorism on British soil!
That's cool. That's fine. Disrupting those operations. Ooh, not good.
Disrupting operations is a cool way to say Islamic terrorism, yeah.
Terrorism. Hassan, they injured an aircraft. Yet another anti-Semitic hate crime, chat. You see this?
Wow, got him.
Yet another deeply anti-Semitic
I can't believe it.
hate crime.
I can't believe the Jews tricked England into considering it terrorism when they destroy British aircrafts. Man, those Jews.
These were Jewish airplanes.
Must be.
That's right. Many of you probably thought these were Christian airplanes. They weren't. They were Jewish. So very clearly, this is an act, perhaps the most heinous act of anti-Semitism. We are all equal. Gifted 100 gifted subs. God.
Yeah. So anyway, that's exactly what we're dealing with. So here we have a dude calling for terrorism on British soil, suspiciously pro-Islamic terrorism, weird. And we have Mehdi Hassan suspiciously endorsing terrorism on Islamic soil, on British soil. It's so weird how it keeps happening. Like, the fact that the Muslims keep supporting Islamic terrorism has got to be a really funny prank or something. It's probably a coincidence. You know, always the class act. This was Hassan Piker literally yesterday on his stream. I just felt like it was important. So this is him sitting in front of signs saying Democratic Socialists of America, which was the movement, by the way, where that got Charlie Kirk assassinated, and then also got these 2 Israeli Christians assassinated in Washington, D.C. All right, so this is him in front of these signs, and let's hear what he has to say.
Please, God, if you're up there.
Sources tell me Charlie is stable.
Please, God.
Did it work? Chat, is it?
Mic check, Charlie Kirk's dead, Lamau. Mic check. Understand, this is the guy that was supposed to debate Charlie Kirk, like a month after he was assassinated. Just doesn't understand what we're dealing with here. This guy fucking sucks. Now, Mohammed Hijab also freaking out the British legal system makes him sick. He's so mad that terrorists go to jail. That's obviously terrible. Antifa and Islamists are charging at police in the UK. I guess you just have to live with that because you want to be Islamophobic? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think that Antifa and Islamists should just do that. It should be okay. Where's Zach Polanski calling for this to stop? Oh wait, we have Zach Polanski really mad that migrants are leaving. No. What if the brown people have to leave? No. So Zach Polanski is really mad about that, but Zach Polanski really seems to have nothing to say about this. It's probably a funny coincidence. Now, again, listen, I criticize the leftist Jews that are pro-migration all the time. Y'all gotta realize that there's an infiltration going on, like, really high up in the church, too. Because this is crazy. Pope Leo, every boat that arrives brings a question along with migrants. What kind of world have we built? So many brothers and sisters must risk death to seek life. Human dignity demands legal and safe pathways, rescue and assistance, real cooperation against traffickers, effective protection for victims, serious processes of reception and integration, and policies that allow every person to live with dignity in their own land. We cannot grow accustomed to counting the dead. Human dignity is no passport and does not lose its value when crossing a border. In other words, import more people. It's insane, bro. It's insane. There's a right to seek a refuge when life is threatened. I'm not gonna lie, man. This is really cringe. The Vatican, which is, by the way, surrounded by massive walls to prevent Islamic invasion, based, by the way, is really quick to call for every country to open their borders. I'm just saying, it's really weird. Like, I criticize the leftist Jews all the time. They're all pushing for migration. Every single one of them, but dog, this is insanity. Oh my God. Yes, yes. Counterpoint, though.
From Afghanistan or the Middle East want to stay in Europe. Shouldn't they be allowed to?
Limited number, okay. But whole Europe eventually become Muslim country, impossible. Or African country, also impossible.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, counterpoint, Dalai Lama is like,
Is there? I mean, you're a refugee yourself.
They
refugee, though. Everyone
themselves,
does it.
I think, better to their own land, climatically. Oh, much better.
Much better if they say in own land. Bro was cooking! He was cooking! It's unreal! Now, of course, Andrew Tate is going on his little random arc, talking about how Sneeko is trying to have sex with him. Of course, Sneeko responds by admitting that, yes, he's gay. No one saw this coming. It's definitely weird. Once again, we got again, third world drama going on the timeline. Maybe I will cover this again in the future. However, what needs to be talked about, in my opinion, is how these 4 UK quote-unquote activists are getting jailed for terrorism because apparently shattering a woman's spine with a sledgehammer is actually illegal. I know. In England, everyone was surprised because they were doing it for Allah, so no one saw this coming. But actually, much to the surprise of the people, shattering a policewoman's spine with a sledgehammer, not legal.
We have some very, very, very good news, okay? 4 activists jailed over 22 years.
Yeah, but they were just fighting for
over
the
Elbit.
genocide in Gaza. They were fighting so hard. Every fucking Islamic talking head pops out of the woodwork to talk about how this is unacceptable. I'm telling these people are not Western civilization was not built for people who think you could just commit acts of terrorism because across the world some retard buttfuckers, terrorist, rapists, pedophiles decided to start a war and lose. I'm sorry, man.
Factory raid and police injury. These are the people that broke into the building. They were being restrained by police. It was the girl with like the really big sledgehammer. She hit a girl in the spine and she damaged this woman's spine. She was a police officer. So sentenced and imprisoned on the grounds of terrorism, no jury ever convicted them of. Historic miscarriage of justice and a truly dark
miscarriage of justice. It should be legal to shatter women's spines if they're doing it for Palestine. Yo, that even rhymes. Shatter spines for Palestine.
day for civil liberties. All 4 were cleared of violent intent. Imagine driving a car into a building and then fighting off police officers and hitting one of them with a hammer. Then you think that you should be cleared of violent intent. Ultimately, people like Mehdi Hassan will always run defense for groups that support and enable Islamic terrorism.
That's right.
In a saner world, all 4 of them would be executed. Check his quote response to me. Oh, did he respond to me? This freak, 1.3 million followers, wants to execute a group of young people who took direct action to prevent a genocide.
To stop a genocide. They did terrorism because of my nebulous random bullshit cause.
Wants to execute them?
Yay!
The modern online fascist right. Okay. Yes, that is exactly what I want, and I will vote for anyone who will do it. They are literally defending putting people in jail for taking a sledgehammer to the spine.
Look how surprised he is that a guy named Mehdi Hassan is supporting Islamic terrorism. He's so shocked. He's like, what? They're supporting Islamic terrorism.
Mind of a police officer. Weird. So this is what these people did. As I said, bro, like it's like scuffed.
It's mostly peaceful.
It's like scuffed Dark Knight.
It's mostly peaceful.
Taking from both of us. Put it down.
See? Imagine saying that they did.
In a better world, this police officer would have shot all 4 of these people walking up to them with sledgehammers. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna be that guy. This is classic self-defense. And if this was in America, that shit would have happened and it would have been justified as fuck. Alright, but instead, the police officers are trained to be little mind-raped fucking retards in the UK. Alright, where you're not allowed to do literally anything. Nah, dude. In the United States, this shit would happen, these 4 people would be dead immediately. And it would be awesome.
Didn't have violent intent. They're literally running at people with sledgehammers. She got a sledgehammer over her shoulder. She getting ready to hit somebody with it. She getting ready to bonk. Why doesn't he have a gun? This is in the UK. And I think this is the police officer. In a normal world, you'd shoot him on sight. Oh,
Yay.
Wow, look at this. Wait. There we go. Oh yeah, this right here, gentlemen.
It's mostly peaceful.
Hey guys.
You know how many Palestinians this saved? 0. This saved 0 Palestinians, by the way.
Guys, these are the people that they're defending. They're defending literal people running in here and hitting you with a sledgehammer. This is my favorite part of the video.
Oh, this is great.
Get your fucking hands on now! Get your hands.
Bro, these people running at you with sledgehammers, you should just put one bullet in each of their heads, at least. I would double tap, personally. But yeah, no, this is insane.
No!
Dude, it looks like that.
Right, you're under arrest, okay?
Can you please
No.
do it so cool?
No, you terrorist!
Get your arms to your back.
No, you don't have to do that. Leave.
Oh, you're hurting me. What about my rights? Says the lady that shatters someone's spine with a sledgehammer.
You don't have to do that.
You can't do that legally.
Legally.
Oh my god.
You wouldn't have to hear any of this if they would have shot her as she approached.
Uh-huh. This would have been, yeah, maybe now they can ban hammers. Calling out Mehdi and Polinsky completely crazy. Even the UK Reddit is doing this. Is Reddit actually turning? They were jailed for driving a van through a wall building. Having plowed through the wall, they leap through the van, armed to the...
It's almost like the pro-Islam guys actually just support Islamic terrorism or something. I love watching these people jump through mental hula hoops, trying to come up with explanations for... No, Zach Polanski! What do you mean? They were jailed for this. Thank you for explaining to the pro-terrorism guy that why they were jailed. It's all... He's just pro-terrorism. Wake up! That's what the left is.
Teeth, the sledgehammer, axes, and whips, and other homemade weapons. What were the axes and whips for if not to harm and threaten people with harm? This was a carefully planned raid in the pursuit of political aim, also
it was to save Palestinians.
Known as terrorism. This is what they've been jailed for. They're going to have to lobotomize Reddit.
They're likely to have to spend 66% of their sentences in prison. They will have that word attached to them for the rest of their lives. They'll be accountable to the police every time they move house, open a bank account, try to travel abroad. Their lives will be...
Bro, I'm telling you, man, we should deport these people to Palestine. Like, I'm being completely 100% here. Like, if they commit like one of these acts of terror or whatever for Gaza, they should just get deported to Gaza. You know, I really think so. That would be sick. That would be awesome. You know, I don't support the death penalty for people that don't murder people or don't try to murder people. But if they're just like committing acts of vandalism and shit for another country, they should be deported to that country. That's my hot take.
Extremely restricted permanently.
Not enough. I guess this is one of the drawbacks to being a violent criminal. And so, yeah, I mean, if you can't unequivocally condemn terrorism and any form of violence, then...
Condemn. They love it. They wish this happened more.
You just have no place in Western culture. You don't.
That's right.
And so that's
right. That's right. The sheeple are awakening, baby. And dude, everyone's so tired of this shit, man. Terrorism fatigue is insane, bro. Palestine fatigue is everywhere. People don't want to say it out loud because then obviously the ravenous retards swarm you and call you a terrorist supporter. You're pro-genocide. No, I'm actually just anti your fucking bullshit antic. Actually, I'm anti-terrorism. Actually, the Palestinians shouldn't have fucking started a war. And then they got obliterated, and actually just fuck you. This is like the actual normal human being stance to things. If they weren't lobotomized by college already or groomed into thinking that actually terrorism is awesome. And I'm not willing to sit here and make believe I don't want to piss anybody off. No, actually, these are terrorists and they should get deported to Gaza. Where are all the pro-Palestine people when Hamas is literally executing Palestinians on the street? Again, no pro-Palestine people actually seem to give a fuck about the fact that Hamas is opening live fire on civilians and kidnapping Palestinians in Gaza. But where are all the pro-Palestine people? Oh, you mean they never actually cared about any of that? They just used Palestine as their little cudgel to slap the West across the face? You mean the thing that Nuxtradamus was predicting like a year ago is actually happening? That's crazy. Now, we had a woman lacking accountability issue going incredibly viral, so I wanted to talk about it just because it's honestly pretty insane. So I don't know all the details. We'll be looking into it now. So apparently, this is a VTuber who's like, just a reminder, I'm uncomfortable with not safe for work art for me, but this is like someone who retweeted infinite not safe for work art of herself. It's the ultimate virtue signal. Before that, before we even get anywhere near that, Apparently the most performative female streamer of all time decided to show up. All right, so Pokimane was going viral. We got to look into this one.
What is this? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Dude, every time she opens her mouth, I know I'm about to hear the worst, dumbest shit in the universe. It's incredible. It's every time.
Jesus.
Every single time, by the way. It's
Pokimane,
unreal.
I think I saw a post about this, right? I did. Pokimane eat the rich. Also, Pokimane buys $11,000 ticket. Spent the weekend at F1 Monaco. What the fuck is Monaco? Is that like a Pokemon? Anytime that a person tells you eat the rich, that they hate rich people, if a rich person tells you that, guarantee yourself they've got a Birkin bag. Guarantee yourself they've got a Porsche. Guarantee yourself they've got $1 million house. This is what's so cringe, bro. Like,
Wealth disparity's getting bad. We hate the rich. Anyways.
we hate the rich.
Too much.
You are the rich.
Aren't you the rich?
No.
Dude, this clip is evergreen.
Such a self-centered capitalistic society. If I ever was a billionaire, I wouldn't be a billionaire for more than a day. I would give away most of my money.
It's so funny. So
I'm only worth $100 million.
somebody says that because like people that are billionaires, it's not like it's, you know, smog diving through like coins. It's locked up in assets and stocks, right? That's usually how
These people don't know shit, and even if they did, they're just virtue signaling.
people build a lot.
They don't believe in any of the things they say. I absolutely despise the radical feminization of culture where we have these bimbos just go out there and say the most pick-me shit in the universe that everyone should totally love it and respect it.
Of wealth.
$28 for cookies? I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so.
As I said, bro, the moment somebody talks about how bad capitalism is, get ready to buy something.
That's
This
right.
is not what I was expecting
What's she crying
when
for?
streaming today, but it's okay.
What's she crying for? Why are you crying?
It's okay. I hope everything will be okay. One sec.
Oh my god.
Get some water and relax. I think actually I know what it is. I think I'm just a little emotionally. It feels like every day it's something new, you know.
There's just too many rich people out there. This is her fucking dream room. It's probably separate from her actual other closet and fucking makeup room.
I think sometimes when you think about like clippers and this and that, for a while.
Bitch, you give the ammunition to the people. I've said this so many times. People are like, Nux, you make Hassan Piker look bad. No, Hassan Piker makes Hassan Piker look bad. What are we doing here?
Wow.
If you weren't just like an absolute fake bitch, that honestly, you are selling the worst lifestyle to every one of your female fans.
Who gets pressed over a clipper? You know how many people clip me out of context and say shit I didn't say? Like, that's just the way it is.
Same.
Look at all
Dude, the worst thing is, I see like a clip of me, all right, floating around Twitter with the caption being like a quote, like in quotes, and it's something I've never said, and it's not even in the clip. And you get people getting mad out of a reality that they have invented. All right, that exists on the internet. If you're getting pressed about this shit, you can leave. You're literally worth $20 million. You can just fuck off.
the products on the shelves. I know, bro. Hey, yo, eat the rich. Man, this is just yesterday. What happened yesterday?
I don't listen to sad music. Couldn't pay me. I'm a happy-go-lucky gal, and I like to stay that way.
This is how it started. This is how it's going. Damn, that was one day. Literally one day. Jesus.
She needs a husband. She needs a husband. That's what she needs. A husband. She refuses to admit it, obviously. She needs a husband. She wants children, but she can't admit that, of course, because she's in that girl boss lifestyle. Crazy, huh?
All of my...
She crazy,
It's kind of
yeah.
true, like, guys... Which of you guys have been here many, many years? Like, I'm talking, you've been following me like 6+ years. A lot of my ops, they really are... Have you ever thought about that? But me, I'm still here. But I'm also...
This is like the most fucking annoying stereotype that you could possibly have. Holy shit, man. You
He's like, oh my god, I have so many fans. They've been gooning to me for years.
can tell that she is probably the nastiest, cattiest bitch privately.
Oh,
and
you
I
know.
think that's the
Oh,
reason
you know.
why
We all
so
know.
many people are annoyed by her. You
100%, absolutely. She is the absolutely plastic, fake, virtue signaling bitch that everyone knows in real life.
should just let the demons out. You should. That's who you really are. We know that's who you are.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Dude, it's crazy.
Nate.
Oh, I can't play that. That's a clip of her saying the N-word. Anyway. So Rev says Desu, right? He's on top of all the VTuber shit. I'm mostly in politics these days. All right, so, dude, that's her Twitter banner? No shot. Wait, hold up. So she's making this whole post about how I'm uncomfortable with not safe for work art of me. You are, bro, you've got fucking nipple bumps and torn shirts and shit and this. Bro, you're a virtual hoe, okay? Just admit, that's what you are. That's what your content is. All right, let's be real. I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's obvious. You don't want not safe for work art of yourself? Oh my god. All right. What do we got here?
Pretty messy. Hey, what's up, guys?
All right, okay. Give me the tea. I wanna hear.
So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the pretty messy situation involving the popular indie VTuber Deme, who found herself facing a lot of criticism thanks to a post she made where she was attempting to set boundaries regarding artwork made of her VTuber model. However, her response to said criticism has really shown her true colors, many people thinking she is a mean girl who is rubbing the lowest moment of someone's life in.
This woman online is actually not super nice and wholesome and preaching about men's mental health and shit.
In their face instead of addressing criticism while doing so very hypocritically, where in past situations she has condemned such behavior and even asked for grace when she found herself in a low moment as well.
Signal.
All of this stems from this post she made yesterday, talking about how she's extremely uncomfortable with not safe for work art made of her VTuber model. Now, the hypocrisy people are attempting to point out is the fact that literally the next post was her reposting very suggestive art of her VTuber model and
I make incredibly sexualized content of this incredibly sexualized VTuber model, but how dare you sexualize me?
She has a history of doing that, but that's a very small portion of this.
By the way, it's not even like how dare you sexualize me. It's how dare you sexualize this very sexualized art that represents me online. Right? Just understand the level of cope we're dealing with.
Video. What I'm focusing on.
Again, I don't actually care. If she feels that way, that's whatever. I don't care. None of this really matters. Right, dude, there is so much porn out there of, I shouldn't even say this out loud, of my VTuber avatar. All right, because some people are going to do whatever people do. All right, that's honestly, that's just where we at.
Is her response to the attempted criticism, where Chibi Reviews, for example, is met with this post from Deme, where she's mocking the fact that his fiance cheated.
Wait, OMG, aren't you the guy whose fiance literally cheated on you and your whole friend group sided with her, Lamau? Wait, this is I care about men's mental health. I don't want to invade your privacy. I care about not safe for work art of this sexy drawing that I had made to represent myself. And people are making sexy art that I retweet, but I actually condemn it. Lamau, your fiance cheated on you with a black guy? Bro, what are we doing here? Are you serious? This is the men's mental health advocate?
Cheated on him. While she laughs about the scenario, the lowest moment of that guy's life, which is not just a heinous response and a very shallow one for criticism, but also it brings up her history of dealing with related subjects where she has condemned such behavior and also asked for grace in her own life when she was facing low moments, especially when it comes to her own relationships. For example, when her current boyfriend physically and emotionally abused her. And
Wait. Is she one of those women that refuses to block their rapist? Dude, I stick my toe into internet drama and I become the worst guy ever. Dude. No way! This is the stereotype!
And even slashed her with a knife. And she has condemned people bringing this up and bringing up her lowest moment in her life, but I guess when it comes to people criticizing her, it's fair game. So let's get into the post itself that started all this. She said, "Hey, just a reminder, I'm extremely uncomfortable with not safe for work art of me," in quotes, "but why did you make your VTuber look like that?" End quote. "Just because I like sexy stuff doesn't mean I want to see full-blown adult content of it." In quotes, it's just a VTuber, end quote. Who do you think of when you see it? So a lot of people are...
They think of the drawing? What are you serious, bro? Like, what are we doing? This is like an OnlyFans model or whatever that posts not full sex scenes of themselves, but they just post nudes of themselves. And they're like, I really don't want you to think about sex scenes of me. I only want to... And it's like, are you serious?
Pointing out that she has a history of consistently reposting artwork of her model in very suggestive situations And
by the way, this is like the I'm uncomfortable, not safe for work art of me. It says like an incredibly pornified VTuber. I actually don't care about this. By the way, I just want to make my stance known. I'm just laughing about the hypocrisy and stuff. I don't actually care about this take at all. All right, I think that if she's uncomfortable about it and she wants to say it, she can say it, and people could listen and don't have to listen because that's just reality on the internet, I guess. But I don't actually give a shit.
they think this line she's trying to draw is a confusing one or possibly a hypocritical one. This is some of the responses saying, feels uncomfortable, not safe for work art of herself, reposts not safe for work art. And this is literally the next post she made after claiming she was so uncomfortable with not safe for work arts, where this particular art piece, you can see pretty much all of her chest and other parts of her body. It's very suggestive, but of course people are going to debate about whether or not that is...
Are you serious? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? No.
full-blown adult content, as she was referring to.
You're just drawing a line in the sand over how looted different people draw art of this sexy VTuber model that you had made for yours. Are you serious?
This is the very normal response to people making edits of the previous poster and gunning them down, because apparently trying to have a conversation about this sort of boundary setting is, well, met with violent hostility, but people are pointing out overall that she has a history of posting very suggestive artwork and sharing it, of not just her VTuber model, but also posting herself in similar sorts of ways. And you can see other quotes like this.
Posted photos of herself? Wait. This is her. She's posting actual, like, I guess, baity photos of herself.
Her model, but also posting herself
Are we serious?
in similar sorts
I can't believe they think of me when they... Oh, yeah?
of ways. Yeah. And you can see other quotes like this saying, this would hold more water if you weren't consistently retweeting softcore adult content of your model. And really just looking at her model itself, obviously it is quite revealing.
Obviously,
it's just a very messy,
very sexual, and it's like, don't sexualize me when I sexualize myself. Many such cases.
Situation. I'm not here harping on this sort of standard she's setting.
Yeah, I don't
It's okay
care.
to set boundaries, but
yeah, I actually don't give a shit about this. I'm glad he's saying that too.
Case, it's pretty messy. But where I do feel very compelled to talk about all this is where Chibi Reviews, the YouTuber, would reply, where he would raise the same sort of criticism, saying, the level of virtue signaling has stun-locked me. Look at the repost, referring to the same repost that the other user had shared. And this was her response, not clarifying anything, not combating the point being made here. Instead, taking a shot at his lowest moment, saying, wait, OMG, aren't you the guy whose fiance literally cheated on you and your whole friend group sided with her? LMFAO. So she brings up the fact that this guy got cheated on. Yeah, they're all horrible people. Nice. Obviously, the people who did this in the friend group, all that, horrible people. Why is that funny? How is that even a response? It's not even acknowledging the criticism whatsoever. You're just dunking on...
It's almost like the whole virtue signal, I care about men's mental health thing is just a facade in order to gain an audience, but this person is actually just... bitchy? A little bit, maybe? I mean, I don't know her, but,
Guy with his lowest moment and then laughing at it. And people really did not appreciate this, but for those who don't know, a few months ago, Chibi Reviews shared a personal event in his life where his fiance cheated on him with one of his close friends in the friend group, chose the friend over him, and he almost drank himself to death in response.
He shouldn't have made
and
this
it was
public.
surely either the lowest or one of the lowest moments of his life. But that's now being rubbed in his face when he dared to criticize someone's post.
Yeah.
Right? And you can see people saying Western VTubers try not to be terrible people for 5 seconds challenge. Impossible. And it seems to happen over and over again, especially with the popular female indie VTubers, where it's like eventually they have this mean girl behavior, and whether or not you want to consider this new for Deme, I don't really know. But this is a really mask-off moment, right? People are looking at this with a lot of disdain. They think this is an incredibly low blow, but it goes way beyond that. She is very hypocritical on all these related subjects, where she has talked about cheating before. In fact, in a recent video from only a few months ago, she was talking about a big cheating scandal in the Japanese streaming scene, and this was her response to people hyping up the guy who was the cheater.
Watch. This is a clip from that stream. Look at...
No! All the men cheering for him? No! Are you dead ass?
all the gifted subs he was getting.
Cheering for cheating is bad, I guess, when it happens to a woman. But I'm making fun of a guy who gets cheated on is based, because that's just a woman freeing herself from the clutches of an evil dude, right? Isn't that how it works?
So here, she's very
Weird.
angry about men hyping up the guy who is cheating and making light of the event or even glorifying it.
Oof.
But that's exactly what she's
Yeah,
doing
it's pretty
with
bad.
Chibi reviews.
That's pretty
she
bad.
is elated about this.
It's almost like the entire thing is just a facade, and she doesn't actually give a fuck about any of the things that she says. Weird if true. Weird if true.
And even laughing about it in her...
Look, I've said this before. 1 in 4 streamers is just a lying bitch. That's just true, whether you like it or not.
response. So that's a clear level of hypocrisy here. And also people are bringing up that she's always talking about mental health and men's mental health.
It's every single one of this. Every single time you see like a female VTuber say, I care about men's mental health, that is a grift. That is a grift. That is because you want parasocial fans to love you and watch your content.
This person saying, a lot of you say you care about men's mental health and then turn around and do stuff like this. Also, Deme has been a piece of crap for a while. Glad you are all noticing now. And she is the type to make routine posts talking about...
How did I know this was gonna happen? That's crazy. Isn't that insane? How did I see that one coming? Damn, if that's not weird, I don't know what is. You mean to Happy Men's Day to my fellow men. Wow. Dude, many such cases.
Happy Men's Day to my fellow men.
The grift is so obvious.
That is something I talked about in the month of June. June is Men's Health Month, but she's making posts like this and then attacking men for having something horrible happen to them, weaponizing their lowest moment.
It's almost like this is just a grift in order to get men to donate to her and watch her streams or something. It's almost like she wants to be the virtual GF to these poor lonely dudes that watch her streams.
When they're faced with criticism, they don't have any other way of responding. But it's interesting to see how she responds to the misery of chibi reviews, for example, but has a very different level of tolerance and empathy and understanding when it comes to her own life and men in her own life, including her current boyfriend.
All right, here we go. I wanted to get into this. This seemed wild.
Who she made a big series of call-out posts and called him out on stream where she claimed that he was physically and mentally abusing her. And she would make a response when she briefly left him saying, I'm free. And goes on saying, after dealing with the things being broken and thrown, screaming in my ear until it rang, having to scream for help till my voice broke because I didn't want my phone taken from me since I took photos of what happened, being pushed, being verbally assaulted, the constant lying, the bruises from
Verbally assault is not a real thing, by the way.
being held too hard.
Again, obviously, abusive relationships are real, and no woman should have to go through something like this, etc., etc. But verbal assault is not a real thing.
I just want to move on. Here's the very ironic part. The last thing I want is for people to constantly remind me of everything.
Oh, how the cookie crumbles. Wait, so you really don't like digging up really shitty low points in past relationships for internet points? Weird.
So,
a woman online dodging accountability and being fake? No, that can't be possibly real.
In her own situation where she was mistreated, she doesn't want people to constantly remind her of that situation, but she is very, very free to do that to others, apparently. But of course, it goes even deeper than that. The same situation Deme would expand upon in a Twitch stream where she would say that, well, she was hurt with a knife, saying, we were having an argument that went on for too long and he started getting his episodes going on, his anger issues and stuff like that. He grabbed the knife and I was trying to grab it and it effing slashed my leg. And now there's like a 7-inch scar. And the, I guess now current boy.
Obviously, that's a complete nightmare. And literally no one should need to go through that, and you should put that man in jail if he's slashing you with knives. What the fuck?
Again,
I don't know if this is real. This is just her allegation.
Confirmed everything that happened, the verbal and physical attacks. And the only thing he would dispute is that he claimed it wasn't a knife, it was a pair of scissors, but as if that makes a really big difference
same idea, I
when
guess.
you apparently leave a 7-inch wound on someone else. But of course, as you can tell, she would eventually get back with him just months later.
Okay, dude. Okay. I was waiting to bust this one out the moment I even heard a little bit about this. How your GF looks at you when you ask her to block the guy who raped her in 2019. Dude, this is an evergreen tweet. This one is evergreen, brother. Oh my god. So you make this whole spiel about this guy being abused and shit. You get back together with him? Oh my god.
Saying Nikita, the guy in question, and I, a month after canceling him on Twitter. Well, I wouldn't think allegations are really the same as canceling someone, like they're being mean or something like this.
Yeah, no, that's not canceling him. You called him a rapist, sexual abuser, guy that's beating you and shit and leaving scars and whatever. No, that's not canceling. That's a really big deal, actually. And again, if that's true, obviously, you should stay away from him. He should go to jail. Slashing you with a pair of scissors or whatever, or a knife, put him in jail. Or, sure. But no, if these allegations are just fake, you are a monster.
This was pretty serious stuff. But in the replies, she would say, jokes aside, I still to this day get comments everywhere about going back to your abuser. But honestly, I've never been happier and more stable. And she would talk about mental health issues and all these things.
So if your mental health issues caused you to make false allegations about that guy, you're a monster. Unacceptable shit, really. Again, I don't know what's real and what isn't real in online Twitter celebrity world. I don't give a shit.
But she would end it down here by saying, he took care of me in my lowest. It's nice to know people aren't defined by their lowest moments.
Oh my, it literally gets worse and worse. And now she's out there rubbing it into Chibi's face that he was cheated on. Oh my god.
To the people that matter. So again, she's talking about, it's nice to know you're not defined by your lowest moments, but this is how she responds to criticism about arts of a VTuber model.
Brother.
Rubbing another person's lowest moment in their face and laughing about it. Very, very hypocritical. But of course, she likes to talk about mental health issues and people not caring about it. She continues on a different post saying, I'm not going to lie, it's all about mental health, until you actually see someone struggling and suddenly everyone bats an eye. I will never regret getting hurt by trying to save someone from an attempt. If you make fun of it, you're an absolute waste of air. And honestly, you're hurting me more.
I love how all the virtue signaling backfires. Every single person that wokes ends up woking too close to the sun. It happens every time. Chibi Reviews, by the way, who was cheated on by his fiance, who she cheated on him with her old friend group or whatever, he tried to kill himself after that. He tried to kill himself. So here she is, making fun of a guy who tried to kill himself. If you make fun of it, you're an absolute waste of air. Honestly, you're hurting... Dude.
But I guess that doesn't matter.
Dude!
Now keep in mind, a part of Chibi Review's situation was basically drinking himself to death, being very distraught over what happened to him. But of course, that's fair game for her to make fun of. But when she has a similar situation in her life, if you make fun of that or even bring it...
And this is why the virtue signaling, if it's not real, it always comes back to bite you. Right? If you actually are a moral person, you won't end up getting yourself into these traps where your own words can be used against you. If you end up getting into the position where you have like 30 old tweets that call out your behavior, that means those 30 tweets were all lies. All right, and it's so obvious.
You're an absolute waste of air, and you're just hurting her more. She knows exactly what she's doing. She is basically adding insult to injury by bringing this up and rubbing it in his face. Now, of course, there's even more hypocrisy. It really never seems to end. She has talked a lot about the Psychono situation, where, in case you're not familiar, a popular streamer was caught being a serial cheater, and the girlfriend actually took him back as a result of all this. But this was her response to the related subject.
But holy, what a piece of shit. The girlfriend is the only person we should feel bad for. I don't know, dude. I feel kind of bad for also the people that he cheated on with, because they're... Just because they're coming out with the fact that they're, I don't know. It's a mess.
Well, what we do know is that
she thinks that the people that he slept with consensually are the victims. Dude.
Empathy for people being cheated on in this situation, but doesn't feel any sort of empathy. In fact, weaponizes it when it happens to someone who dares to criticize her on Twitter.com. And she also has this attitude of throwing a little shade at the fact that the girlfriend took Psychono back, which is, people draw the levels of irony there. But she's talking about the situation, and people were already criticizing back then, well, you should be aware you have personal experience with someone with high XP, because she said that he must have high XP to be able to keep his girlfriend after all of this. And this is yet another post of her situation, basically saying, stop mentioning my situation with my ex. And of course, she would get...
Don't bring up my personal stuff, but I will bring up yours.
Back with him. So,
Many
yeah,
such
she
cases.
draws this line where you're not allowed to talk about things going on with me and my relationships, but she feels very open doing it to others. And that's why you have posts like this from Parrot saying, guy's fiance cheats on him with his friend knows about it and doesn't tell him, point and laugh at him for it, LMFAO, your own ex abused you in 2024, gathering sympathy for your own abuse, but then turning around and making fun of someone else's abuse. You're a hypocrite. And I think that is a very fair set of criticism, given everything we've seen, right? But she would respond
keeps going.
to
Let's go.
Chibi Reduce, who would say, so you avoid answering why you retweet not safe for work of your avatar despite being upset about it in the post. Then you cheer on him cheating. Interesting. Well, that's the whole thing too, right? Like, she doesn't make it very clear what she even considers not safe for work, because I think a lot of people would consider what she reposts regularly as not safe for work. I mean, it doesn't have to be completely and utterly 100% fully no clothes involved for something to be not safe for work. But then again, that's not really the crux of the criticism here. It has a lot more to do with her response to said criticism. But she replies saying, my bad for not wanting to see my model getting pounded, as if that's anything he said. If people want to keep drawing it, then that's their choice, but I'm just not going to support it. Does it make sense to you now? And she's referring to...
That's not what she said, though. She described it as like she was a victim. She was like a sexual abuse victim of some sort. Bro, the way she was talking about it. Hold on. Let me see if I can still find it. Oh, my God. Wait, did she delete her post? Wait, a reminder. I'm extremely uncomfortable with not safe for work art for me. And now she's saying, but you can still do it. What? You make your VTuber look like that? Because I like sexy things. I don't want to see porn of it. It's just a VTuber. Who do you think of when you see it? This is implying sort of that you are being sexually harassed when someone creates not safe for work art of your avatar. Okay, I'm just saying that's kind of what it looks like, right? Like, let's not mince words. And again, you have the right to be uncomfortable about whatever makes you uncomfortable, I suppose. But like this whole policing of people's drawing art of basically of an anime character that you designed to be sexualized, when you are retweeting sexualized art of that character, it's like what are we doing, man?
A reply she would add on to the original thread where she says, I just feel like there's so many other content creators who would love to have artists draw them in that way, and it's a wasted effort towards me, but I'd like to make this clear. I'm completely okay with sexy stuff. She just doesn't like full-blown adult content. But of course, Chibi Reviews would say, so you could have answered first like this, but used personal attacks and cheered cheating. Not a good look. And yeah, I mean, the fact that that's exactly where she went first is a pretty telling thing about the kind of person she is. You can debate about the standards she is expressing and whether or not she's following through on that.
Dude, I love how virtually every single online, like, viral woman drama is, woman has an entire gigantic internet history of virtue signaling on random things that it turns out she never cared about at all, because she will use those exact things that she weaponizes whenever she sees fit. Pokimane cheers about how capitalism is bad and rich people are bad. Meanwhile, she sells cookies for infinite money and cries about how the world is mean to her. When? And she's such a nice girl and cares about men's mental health, but everyone that attacks her dies when she remains. Then you get this person being like, oh, how dare you address my past history of personal stories that I made public. Bro, she makes her past history public, and then she's, like, mad that people bring it up. And then she uses other people's past history as, like, dunks on them. Bro, woking too close to the sun. It just destroys you. Many such cases. Bro, this meme is just infinite. It's crazy. I don't understand, bro, how women dodging accountability, like Neo dodging bullets in the Matrix. It's just so many such cases. I don't even think the original post mattered or anything. It's just the way you go about it. Dog, if instead of the giant crash out, she would have just been like, hey, I get why you think I'm hypocritical about this. It's just my opinion. You can do whatever you like. Like, literally no one would give a shit. But nope, you couldn't let your ego get bruised for 1 second by people critiquing you or commenting. Nope, not even 1 second about that. Oh my god, just absolutely miserable. Anyway, that was today's deep dive on all of the things. All of the things was covered in the least homosexual way possible. Viral internet whammon, Elon becoming really rich, New York City and the UK getting burnt down, and of course, the Donalding around. Happy birthday, Donald! Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Definitely subscribe. I cover all the things every day as much as I can in the least homosexual way possible. Appreciate you all immensely. This was like a movie length. This Lord of the Rings length fucking deep dive on all the bullshit going on in the world. But hey, that's why you have me. Bye!